And greetings, Red Wolf Nation, and welcome to your pack preview for January 26th as your Red Wolves are getting ready to face Cincinnati Christian University. I'm Kyle Wright with the IU East Athletic Department. Morgan Gard, your usual host, is courtside with Caleb Gillock waiting for tip-off, so I'll be interviewing Coach Dries Moore today. So, Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
Well, before we look ahead, let's look back a little bit. Had a couple games since we've had you in the studio. First off, the game at West Virginia Tech didn't go the Red Wolves' way. Talk a little bit about that West Virginia Tech game.
Well, we just came into that game I don't know what type of mindset, but since we had beat them previously at Rushville Gym by 20 plus points, we just kind of expected them to roll over and for us to just be able to do the same things that we did in that game and it would just be the same result. But obviously that wasn't the case, and we just didn't do the little things in that game that got us to that point.
It was an 80-79 win for West Virginia Tech. I guess the one bright spot, it looked like that kind of helped the team refocus and came up with a big road win at Point Park on Saturday the 23rd. Talk about the Point Park win.
Oh, the Point Park win was a good, really good team win. We started out with a lot of energy, so that was really good to have. And the second half just kind of just pushed us, just blew the doors off the game. It was just defense won that game for sure. We just kind of came together at halftime, and we're just like, this team's not going to win. We're going to just buckle down and just play the game, and we're going to get this win.
And a nice 67-56 win for the Red Wolves. That brings us to today against Cincinnati Christian. First time that we're playing them this year. Their record probably isn't what they wanted it to be, but CCU did beat IU East last year in the only all-time matchup between the teams. So had a few days to look into the Eagles. What can you tell us about Cincinnati Christian today?
Cincinnati Christian is going to be a good team to play against. They have really good players from top to bottom, and we're just going to have to come out and, we have a chip on our shoulder from last year, and we're going to play hard and play our game and just hope that we get the result we want.
We are the home team, but we're in I counted our fourth home gym of the year, this time at the Wright State University Nutter Center. Really nice, really big arena. Have the players said much about getting the opportunity to play in an arena like that, or have they not said much? Is it just another game to them, or just what's kind of their mindset about this setting?
It's just going to be another game for us. We're just there to play and, try our best to beat Cincinnati Christian. And I mean, the arena is great. I've seen pictures of it and everything, but that's kind of not why we're there. We're there to play and, just beat Cincinnati Christian.
Right, and then you've mentioned the little things a few times already in this interview. It was interesting to me. I got messages from both Coach Selhorst and Tia King after the Point Park game asking what made the difference, and they both said the little things. And I'm just curious, what are some of those little things that y'all have been focusing on in the last few weeks or the last few games? What are those little things that the players are supposed to focus on during games?
Well, the little things, it's been the theme for this past week. It's basically good help side, good closeouts, good communication, made free throws, execution, good out-of-bounds execution, good offensive execution, good defense execution. Just it sounds like a lot, but it's little things that we can control and what we can do. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, if the team gets a steal, who's picking up ball, who's getting back, all of our rules basically. And if we're not following our rules, then we're not doing the little things. So.
Gotcha. Okay, it was interesting to see both coach and player answer the same way, so I was interested to hear some of those. Well, we'll hope that the little things add up to a big win. Thank you so much for joining. Good luck this evening.
Thank you.
And we will throw it to our live commentators at the Nutter Center.
Hello once again, and welcome to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolf Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock at the Wright State University Nutter Center for tonight's matchup between the IU East Red Wolves, who come into tonight's game with a record of 11-9 on the season, 6-2 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and Cincinnati Christian 4-4, 1-7. The Red Wolves are 11-9, 6-2. Once again, thanks for joining us here on your Tuesday evening at the Wright State University Nutter Center, as the IU East Red Wolves take on the Cincinnati Christian University Golden Eagles. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the starting lineups and a preview of these two teams here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Caleb Gillock along with Morgan Guard at the Wright State University Nutter Center as the IU East Red Wolves get set to take on the Cincinnati Christian Golden Eagles. Let's go ahead and take a look at these two teams. IU East is coming off of a 67-56 comeback win at Point Park University on January 23rd. CCU won the only previous NAIA meeting against IU East. The Eagles held off the Red Wolves 79-75 in Cincinnati last season. This is the fourth home court for IU East this season. IU East has also hosted games at Richmond High School, Earlham College, and Russellville Consolidated High School. And just something to note here, IU East head coach Tiffany Selhorst is a Wright State University graduate. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Cincinnati Christian Eagles. They've lost 7 of their last 8. The Eagles' most recent game was a 75-45 setback against Indiana University Southeast on January 19th. CCU has already played at the Nutter Center this season. The Eagles fell 107-44 against Wright State University on December 12th. Bailey Bennett, a 5'4 freshman guard, leads CCU with 12.8 points per game. Bennett ranks in the national top 25 with 2.56 three-point field goals per game. Randall Rufford, a 5'9 junior guard, scored 15 points in the IU East CCU game last season. All the IU East Red Wolves starting lineup just finished getting announced here tonight. Morgan, what do you expect to see out of these two teams this evening?
I expect a really good fight. CCU, although 1-7 right now in the KIAC, I think is still going to put up a really good fight.
Right.
IU East as well. They're 6-2, I believe. Yes. In the KIAC, they've put up so many fights. This really is going to be just a duel between the two teams. I'm sure Coach Selhorst is probably very excited to be back at her home court. I tried to do some research on her, but I almost think the internet came a little bit after Coach Selhorst's time here. Sorry, Coach Selhorst. But I'm very excited. This is my first Lady Red Wolves game to commentate, so this should be exciting.
All right, well, the IU East in the Capital Division for the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Well, tip is off, and it goes back to the Eagles, and we are underway here at the Wright State University Nutter Center. Pass will go over to the right side, down low, and a basket here for the Golden Eagles to get things underway. And that basket was by number 25, Allie Balser. So we'll go down to the other end of the floor. It'll be with Bailey Dryman. Dryman gives it to Adriana Moore. Moore starts for the Red Wolves tonight. Tia King gives it to Niehoff. Niehoff out to Moore. Now Moore passes down into the corner. And a 3-point shot off the mark for Bailey Dryman. The Red Wolves get the ball back. Dryman with it inside the lane to the basket and scores for the Red Wolves. And we're all tied up at 2 with 9:21 to go in the first quarter. So now we go over to the right side of the floor. Pass over to the left side to Doddridge. Now back over to the right side to Wingham. Now underneath the basket, picked off that time by Adriana Moore. Moore will bring it on down the floor here for IU East. Over to the right side. Now Moore gives it to Miller in the corner. Pass down inside to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff with the shot. Doesn't finish. And it'll be rebounded that time by Balzer. Pass run down the floor over to the right side into the hands of Doddridge. Now out top. Pass over to the left side. Into the hands now of Bailey Bennett. Talked a little bit about her there in the pregame show. Go back over to the right side to Wingham. Shot clock down to 8 here for the Eagles. Pass over to the right side. Now we go back over to the left side. Bennett with the basketball, gets a shot off. And it'll be no good. Rebound by Kristen Miller. Dribbles the ball on down the floor for IU East. Miller goes inside the lane, down to the basket. And it'll stay with IU East. Stops the clock at 8:18 to play in the first quarter. All tied up at 2 between the Red Wolves and the Eagles.
This has definitely been a quick first few minutes.
Inbounds to Dryman. Dryman gets the shot off with the go-ahead basket for the Red Wolves. And that puts IU East up 4-2 with 8:10 to go in the ballgame. Pass over to the right side of the floor. It'll be with Doddridge. Now it'll be hands of Caldwell. Caldwell back over to Wingham. Shot clock at 13 here for the Eagles. Doddridge inside the lane gets the shot off. This will be a foul called on the Red Wolves. It'll be the team's first on IU East. Foul goes against number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff. She'll pick up her first and team's first on the Red Wolves. And that'll put Lexi Doddridge at the line to shoot 2 free throws here for the Eagles. First free throw off the back of the rim, no good. To this evening's game.
She was the leading scorer at the IU Southeast game with 20 points, so expect a big game from her.
74% free throw shooter. Hit the second free throw, missed the first one. Here's King for 3 from the right corner. No good. Bailey Dryman comes out with the basketball. Tried to get it into the hands of Kerrigan Niehoff. A little bit too high. Gets over Niehoff. And now it goes to the other end of the floor with the Eagles. 3-point shot taken from the left wing by Wingham. No good. And the rebound by the Red Wolves. Pass on down to Tia King, who brings it down the left side of the floor for IU. One 4-3. Krista Miller with the basketball. Now over to Tia King. King pass down inside to Bailey Dryman. Doesn't go, but rebound this time by the Eagles. So it goes to the other end of the floor. 7:05 to go in the first quarter. Pass over to the right side. Now Doddridge with the basketball. Gives it to Bennett. Takes the 3 from top of the key. Knocks it down. That puts the Eagles ahead by 2, 6-4. And now Kristen Miller. That's over to the left side. We got a foul called here on the Eagles. Goes against number 32, Bailey Bennett. She picks up her first and team's first. Now we'll go over to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff underneath the basket. No good, and now the Eagles with the basketball. Pass on down the floor, over to the left side. And now we've got a foul called at this end of the floor. It'll be the team's second foul on IU East. This one goes against number 12, Adriana Moore. She picks up her first. Olivia Springmeyer will have to wait a moment to come into the game as Doddridge will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Into the game for your Red Wolves, number 4, Olivia Springmeyer. And for the Eagles, number 2, Kristen Reinhardt.
Second free throw is good here for Doddridge. So now it is 7-4. The out of bounds will go to the Eagles with 6:25 to go.
Kristen Miller definitely tried to save that. That was a cool spin move she did.
6:22 to go in the ball game, and now it'll be passed down to the inside. Shot taken and made this time by the Eagles, Letitia Caldwell. And now the Eagles have the 5-point lead, 9-4. The Red Wolves desperately need a basket here on this possession. Will go down to Niehoff. Niehoff out to Dryman. Pass over to the left side to Tia King. King inside the lane. Tried to pass down to Niehoff once again. Niehoff was able to come up with the basketball. Dryman with the shot inside the lane. Doesn't go. Tipped out to King for the three. Off the mark, and the rebound by Libby Springmeyer. Springmeyer, no good either. Niehoff will try it. She can't get one to go either. Lit on the basket for the Red Wolves. As one doesn't go for Tia King either.
That was 5 tries.
So down at the other end of the floor now with the Eagles. Out of the lane and scoring at the basket, Natalie Steppel. So the Eagles on a run here. They're up by 7, 11-4 with 5:16 to play in the first quarter. Pass out to the corner to Libby Springmeyer. Springmeyer inside the lane. Gets one off the glass, but it won't go. And we've got a foul off of the ball. And this foul is going to go on number 2. That's Kristen Reinhardt. She'll pick up her first and team second on the Eagles. Ball inbounds to Niehoff. Niehoff gets a basket here, and now it's 11-6. Pass over to the left side and work it back over to the right side. It'll be with Reinhardt. Reinhardt back over out to the left wing to Doddridge. Down to Reinhardt, who's going to the basket. One goes off the side of the backboard, picked up by Kerrigan Niehoff. And Niehoff will give the basketball to Tia King once she gets it past center court. 4:38 to go. King gives it to Springmeyer. Springmeyer from the elbow knocks one down. And now it's 11-8 down to a 3-point basketball game. Pass over the left side to Doddridge. Now it'll be back out on top. Here to the hands of Natalie Steppel. Steppel gives it to Caldwell. Now we go over to the right side. Shot no good. Steppel went back up a couple of times, and finally the Red Wolves pick it up. Kristen Miller pushes the ball on down the floor here for IU East. Spin move to the basket. Unable to finish. Out to Niehoff. Niehoff with the mid-range shot. This one's short. And picked up by the Eagles. Pass on down the floor. And this one will be good for Lexi Doddridge. She'll go to the line for one free throw. The foul is going to go on Tia King. She picks up her first. And that'll be the Red Wolves' team third foul. 13-8, Red Wolves down by 5 with 3:51 to play in the first quarter. IU East came into today's game with a record of 11-9 on the season. 6-2 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Second free throw here for Doddridge is good. So that'll extend the lead to 6 for the Eagles, 14-8 with 3:48 to go in the first quarter of the ball game. Kristen Miller with the basketball. She'll pass out to Tia King. King looked at the three, but dribbles instead. Down to the basket. Doesn't finish. And Niehoff is fouled and will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. This foul looks like it's going to go against the Eagles' number 25, Allie Balzer. She picks up her first and team's third on the Eagles. So that'll put Kerrigan Niehoff at the free throw line for IU East. First free throw for Kerrigan is good. That'll make it 14-9. And end of the game here for the Eagles will be Letitia Caldwell and Bailey Bennett. Niehoff at the line for one more free throw with 3:35 to play in the first quarter.
And she shoots about 85%, so 2 for 2 today.
Red Wolves trail by 4. And Sarah Cook coming into the ball game. Sarah Cook, the IU East freshman, a 5'10 freshman forward. She's one of 3 freshmen on the IU East women's basketball roster this season. Bennett to the basket. Doesn't get this one to go. It'll be a foul called on IU East, so it'll be team foul number 4 on the Red Wolves. And this one is going to go against Tia King. King picks up her second personal. And here's Bennett at the line once again for Cincinnati Christian. Bennett this season a 76% free throw shooter.
And she led CCU in the beginning of the IU Southeast game with 12 points.
Make on her first free throw, makes it 15-10. Second one makes it 16-10. 3:25 to go in the ball game. Adriana Moore brings it down the right side of the floor. So crossover, goes left, gives it to Dryman. Now Dryman over to the left, pass down to Kristen Miller. Miller feeds it to Sarah Cook. Cook with a hook shot off the front of the rim, no good. It'll be out of bounds. Goes to the Eagles with 3:10 to go. And back in here for the Eagles will be number 11, Lexi Doddridge. Doddridge is a 5'5 freshman guard from Lucasville, Ohio. Pass back over to the right side to Wingham. Wingham passes down to Caldwell. Back over to the right side once again. 3-point shot taken. It'll be short off the rim by Wingham, a 5-foot guard from Columbus, Indiana. To go to the other end of the floor with Bailey Dryman. Dryman to Dobbins for the three from top of the key. Caitlin Dobbins will hit her first shot of the ball game. And that takes it down to a 3-point basketball game, 16-13 with 2:42 to go. Big 3-point basket there by Caitlin Dobbins off of the bench for the Red Wolves.
A much-needed 3-point shot.
3-point shot on the other end of the floor, no good for Wingham. Red Wolves with the basketball, 2:27 to go in the first quarter. Adriana Moore brings it down over to Sarah Cook. Cook will make her way to the basket, wide open underneath. And it's a 1-point game, 16-15. Cook with the basket.
I was trying to think if this game was going to be a lot like the West Virginia or the Point Park game. Almost a comeback, but I don't think IU East is going to have too bad of a comeback here.
We'll go over to the right side. It'll be with Wingham. 3-point shot taken by Bennett from a couple feet behind the arc. No good. Offensive rebound, though, by Wingham. Now here is a made basket by Lexi Doddridge. And that'll put the Eagles up by 3, 18-15. Caitlin Dobbins a little slow getting up that time for IU East. She's up now, appears to be okay.
Looks like she rolled her ankle. But I am surprised that Macy Wingham got that rebound. She's 5
Right,
foot.
yeah.
Nothing. Gives you hope if you are short.
That's for sure. Goes over to the right side. Miller to Dobbins. Back out on top. Moore. Passed over to Dryman on the left side of the floor. Now here is Bailey Dryman.
Ooh.
Hard fall, no foul on the play. It'll be out of bounds. It'll go to the Eagles and back in for Cincinnati Christian. It'll be Kristen Reinhardt, a 5'6 sophomore guard from Lexington, Kentucky. Has actually played at Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Pass over here to the left side. It'll be with Doddridge. Doddridge pass over to the right side. Bennett for another three. This is this one. Rebound by Bailey Dryman, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Red Wolves. Minute 22 to go in the first quarter. Miller with the ball over on the left side of the floor. Comes back to the center, gives it to Dobbins, puts up another three. Can she go 2 for 2? Yes, she does. One rolls around the rim and finds its way in. Ties the ball game up at 18. Caitlin Dobbins now 2 for 2 from 3-point range, and a traveling violation here on the Eagles by number 24, Rachel Warren. Turns it back over to the Red Wolves with 1:02 to play in the first quarter. All tied up at 18. Miller taking it out for the Red Wolves. Finds Sarah Cook. Cook doesn't get it to go. Caldwell with the rebound for Cincinnati Christian. Tipped by Dryman, but picked up by Warren for the Eagles. B with Warren out high. Now with Caldwell. 17 on the shot clock here for the Eagles. Pass over to the left side. Doddridge over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets one to find its way in, and that puts the Eagles back up by 2, 20-18 with 30 seconds to go. Adriana Moore inside the lane. Unable to get one to fall in off the backboard. And now Reinhardt gets it across center court for the Eagles. Nice steal here by Bailey Dryman for the Red Wolves. She'll take it down and get a layup for IU East, tying it up at 20. And now the Eagles pass it on down the floor to Bennett. Over to the other side of the floor, Reinhardt. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Shot taken by Reinhardt. This is one from three-point range, and that'll bring the first quarter to a close, all tied up at 20. Morgan, tell us a little bit about the first quarter.
If you look at the roster, both teams are really young, so I'm very excited. I was excited coming into this game when I was doing my research with how young these teams were. It seemed like a perfect fit for IU East today. You mentioned earlier we have a couple freshmen. Talking to Doris, this wasn't the team, Coach Moore, my bad. This wasn't the team they expected to have at the beginning of the year, but she said it's fate. I talked to her during a pack preview. She said this is fate. This is what she thinks they believe is going to be the best team for this year, and I couldn't agree more. CCU really put up that fight. I'm really happy to see IU East come back.
IU East women's basketball right here on the Red Wolf Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
We're at the Wright State University Nutter Center here for more IU East women's basketball on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Kristen Miller inbounds the ball here for the Red Wolves to get the second quarter underway. As the ball inbounds to Libby Springmeyer. Defended by Bailey Bennett. Was able to get rid of Bennett. Now it's back into the hands of Miller. Miller down the right side of the lane to the basket. And gets blocked. So it'll go the other end of the floor here with the Eagles. Pass over to the left side. Doddridge with the basketball. Now to go over to the right side. It'll be out on top. Doddridge with it. Now it goes over to the right side. Down into the corner. Pass inside to Reinhardt. Daisha Boyd into the ball game here for IU East. Gives it to Miller. Feeds it down to Niehoff. Niehoff gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for a pair of free throws.
That was a fall. That was a hard fall.
So the foul goes against Balzer. She picks up her second. That'll be the team foul number 1 on the Eagles here in the second quarter. First free throw for Kerrigan Niehoff is good. That puts the Red Wolves on top by 1, 21-20. And Letitia Caldwell back into the game for Cincinnati Christian with a 9:14 to go in the second quarter. Second free throw here from Kerrigan Niehoff is good as well. And IU East now has the 22-20 lead. Steppel passed the ball over to the right side. Now we'll be back out with Steppel. Steppel feeds it inside to Letitia Caldwell. Caldwell unable to get it to go. And Kerrigan Niehoff with the basketball now. Passes over to the left side of the floor to Kristen Miller. Miller down underneath the basket. Comes to a jump stop. Down at the baseline. Out to Springmeyer. Springmeyer for the three. Goes long. Sarah Cook tried to pick it up, but out of her reach. Picked up by Wingham. On down the floor. Here's Doddridge. Doesn't get one to go. And Doddridge inside the lane, trying to get rid of it. And we've got a 3-second violation called on the Eagles. So it'll be IU East basketball with 8:35 to go in the second quarter. Kristen Miller brings it across center court. Out of the corner to Niehoff. Niehoff makes her way toward the lane. Back out to the corner. Miller puts up the three. This one up and in for Kristen Miller. Red Wolves now lead by 5, 25-20. Over to the left side of the floor with Doddridge. Doddridge stopped at the wing by Sarah Cook. Has to give it to Steppel. Works it on around to Wingham. Wingham to Bennett for three from way outside off the back of the rim. And it'll be picked up by the Red Wolves. Sarah Cook brings it down the floor for IU East. Inside the lane, all the way down to the basket. And scores for IU East. And now the Red Wolves lead 27-20.
A little bit different story than the first quarter.
Definitely better start to the second quarter than start to the game for the Red Wolves.
Sure, this is what Coach Selhorst wanted.
And Sarah Cook caught inside the lane. She picks up the blocking foul on IU East, so Cook will pick up her first. And that'll be team's first on the Red Wolves here in the second quarter. And that'll put Natalie Steppel at the free throw line here for the Eagles. First free throw for Steppel. Good free throw. Makes it 27-21. 6-point ball game. And Bailey Dryman back into the game for the IU East Red Wolves. And then for Cincinnati Christian, Kristen Reinhardt. Second free throw for Steppel. No good. Rebound by Niehoff, who passes on down the floor to Dryman. Dryman back into the game after a quick breather. Miller gives it to Niehoff. Niehoff to Springmeyer from the elbow. This one's off the front of the rim. And Steppel with the basketball gets it into the hands of Macy Wingham. Wingham with the basketball over here on the left side. Gives it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt over to Bennett. Plenty of time here for the Eagles to score, but Bailey Bennett gets one off and makes it a 4-point ball game, 27-23. 7:05 to go. Pass over to the right side. It'll be with Springmeyer. Now Springmeyer pass over to the corner. Cook, who puts up a three. It's going to be short. Rebound by Wingham. She brings it on down the floor for the Eagles. Backs it out to the right corner. And we'll get it into the hands of Steppel, who takes a three from top of the key. No good. And the rebound here by the Red Wolves. Down in the corner. Kristen Miller with the basketball. And Miller will be tied up, so it'll be considered a jump ball. Well, Miller was in the air, so this one will go to the Eagles with 6:35 to go. So into the game will be number 24, Rachel Warren. She's back into the ball game for Cincinnati Christian. Pass over here to the left side. Wingham on to Caldwell. Now over to the right side to Doddridge. Wingham with the basketball. Tries to find her way down to the basket, and we've got an offensive foul called. And I'm just saying, how often do you see a 5-foot girl be called for a charge against the 5'11 center for another team?
I was wondering the same exact thing. It's a little unheard of.
Have to get Franklin's input on that here in a little bit. That 5-foot player going up against 5'11 drawing the charge.
It's like me going up against Franklin. It's not going to happen.
All right, here's Miller. Good call, though. I'd have to agree with it. You just don't often see that mismatch. Here's Niehoff inside the lane and scores for the Red Wolves, 29-23.
I mean, you can't disagree. Kerrigan got a basket, so it works in our favor.
Red Wolves lead by 6. Pass over to the right side. Wingham with the basketball for the Eagles. That'll be with Doddridge. Shot clock at 10 for the Eagles. And Reinhardt down to the basket and scores for Cincinnati Christian, making it a 4-point basketball game, 29-25. Interesting enough, neither team has taken a timeout yet in the first 15 minutes of the ball game.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought CCU was calling one earlier, but nope.
And a basket by Kerrigan Niehoff. Makes it 31-25 with 5:10 to go. Over here on the left side with Doddridge. Doddridge goes off the screen by Caldwell. Eagles able to hang on to it. Shot clock down to 7. Shot taken here by Wingham, no good.
Oh.
Wingham able to get back to the ball, and a new shot clock here for the Eagles with 4:41 to go in the first half. Three-point shot taken by Doddridge. It'll be short, off the rim. Here's Bailey Dryman. Pass on down to Kristen Miller. Miller underneath the basket. She'll bring the ball back out. Gives it to Dryman. Dryman over to Springmeyer for three from the left wing. Up and in for Olivia Springmeyer. And now it's 34-25. IU East with the 9-point lead.
She did that with like absolutely no jump. She, you could say, has no spring.
So a foul call here on the Red Wolves. And it's going to go against number 25, Caitlin Dobbins. She picks up her first and team second on the Red Wolves. And Adriana Moore back into the ball game for the Red Wolves. So Doddridge will be taking it out of bounds here for Cincinnati Christian with 4:04 to go. And Caitlin Dobbins will be out of the ball game.
And
goes right back over to check in for the Red
ball
Wolves.
game.
So right now it'll be with Steppel out on top for the Eagles. Now Steppel all the way down to the basket and scores 34-27. Kristen Miller with the ball for IU East. Miller finds Niehoff, and Niehoff scores for the Red Wolves 36-27. Wingham passed over to Bennett for the three. This one doesn't fall. And now Libby Springmeyer will bring it on down the floor. And we've got a foul called here on the Eagles. This one will go against number 11, Lexi Doddridge. Picks up her first. And that'll bring Caitlin Dobbins back into the ball game for the Red Wolves.
You know, I don't even know if Caitlin got a drink. She just went over.
Yeah, it was
Coach pushed her back
quick.
out there.
In and out. 3:11 to go. Shot off the mark this time by Bailey Dryman. It will be rebounded by the Eagles. Wingham brings it on down. Pass over to the left side to Doddridge. Doddridge to Caldwell. Now over to Bennett. Now on top of the key. On the right side of the lane, Doddridge scores. And Lexi Doddridge now has a total of 9 points in the first half. Goes over to Kristen Miller. Now Miller. He picked off by Caldwell. And Bennett will bring it down the floor for the Eagles. He brings it over to the left side. Pass to Caldwell. Now over to Doddridge on the right side. Doddridge back out to Steppel. Steppel with the ball for the Eagles. Pass over to the left side to Bennett. Shot clock at 10 for the Eagles. Pass down to Caldwell. Caldwell inside the lane. And there's going to be a foul called here. So she'll go to the line for 2. As this foul is called on number 12, Adriana Moore. So that'll put Caldwell at the line to shoot 2 free throws here for the Golden Eagles.
She's a sports management major, and I think that's pretty cool. That's my minor.
Oh, yeah?
Sports marketing and management. I don't suggest marketing classes, though. I applaud her for that one.
All right, well, 36-30. Daisha Boyd back into the game for the Red Wolves. IU East today in the gray uniforms and Cincinnati Christian in the purple. Free throw was good that time by Caldwell. Makes it a 5-point basketball game, 36-31. 2:05 to go. Sarah Cook with the basketball. Goes down, and this one will roll off the rim, so she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. A blocking foul called on the Eagles. It goes against Caldwell, who picks up her first. So here's Sarah Cook at the free throw line for IU East. First free throw is good for Cook.
She's really surprised me in today's game. She went for a 3, and you don't normally see her do that, and I was very surprised and very pleased for a freshman.
Cook goes 2 for 2 at the line that time as a 59% free throw shooter. Makes the score 38-31 with 1:52 to play. Steppel with the basketball, gives it to Caldwell. Now on over to the right side. Hart throws it over to Doddridge. Shot clock down to 6. Steppel underneath the basket. Steps on the line, so that will go to the Red Wolves out of bounds with 1:33 to go. Seven-point lead for IU East. With 1:26 to go. Kristen Miller finds Dryman, and Dryman will score off the assist from Miller. And the Red Wolves now lead by 9. 40-31. Doddridge pass over to the right side, and we've got a timeout. First timeout of the ball game taken by head coach Joshua Snyder of the Cincinnati Christian University Eagles. He's in his 3rd season, so we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout as well, and we'll come back with more IU East women's basketball right here on the Red Wolf Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East women's basketball. 1:10 to go in the second quarter. Red Wolves lead 40-31 against Cincinnati Christian University in tonight's KIC women's basketball game. It'll be out on top with Doddridge. Pass over to the right side to Bennett. Right back to Doddridge. And the Eagles are down to 6 in the shot clock as Bailey Dryman tips it out of bounds. I'll stop the clock with 53.4. And 5 on the shot clock. Steppel taking it out. Gets it to Doddridge. Here's Steppel with 2 on the shot clock. Goes off the backboard. Doesn't go. And we've got a shot clock violation here on the Eagles. So IU East will get it back with 48.2. Kristen Miller across center court. And now to go out of bounds. 42 seconds to go. Now Bailey Dryman gives it to Boyd. It'll be off of her leg, so they call the kick. 38.9 to go in the second quarter. IU East has the 9-point lead as Kristen Miller takes it out to the right of the basket. Finds Tasha Boyd. Boyd, no good. Boyd goes back up once again. And a foul called on the Red Wolves. That'll give it to CCU with 34 seconds to go. So a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And that foul goes against number 21, Tasha Boyd. She picks up her first and team's 4th. Wingham brings it down the floor here for the Eagles. Bennett to Doddridge. Back over to Wingham. And finds Doddridge. She loses it. It'll be picked up this time by number 25. That's Allie Balzer. Basket by Caldwell. No good. And nice basket there by Lexi Doddridge. And we've got a timeout taken. It'll be 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. Red Wolves lead by 7, 40-33 with 8.2 to go in the second quarter here on the Red Wolf Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online. This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world.
Welcome back to IU East women's basketball. 3-point shot by Kayla Dobbins. 3 for 3 at the buzzer. And that'll put the Red Wolves up by 10 at the half, 43-33. What a shot there by Caitlin Dobbins. It was 3 for 3 from three-point range in this afternoon's game in the first half. Morgan, tell us a little bit about the first half.
You could definitely tell the assistant coaches from IU East were very pleased with that shot. They were both excited. Coach Moore and Coach Best seemed very pleased with Caitlin's last-minute shot. Very good game, I think. I'm very excited, like I said earlier, that I got to watch this game. And it's at the Nutter Center. I've never been here. On top of that, it's been a great game, but I got to go.
All right. Well, at the half, IU East leads 43-33. And while we wait, actually, we got the stats right in front of us, so we'll go ahead and go through the halftime stats. Go ahead and refresh the stats once again. IU East leads here at the half, 43-33, up by 10. So here at the half, IU East shooting 35.9%, 14 of 39 from field goal range. They're also 5 of 10 from three-point range, making that 50% from three-point range for the Red Wolves. IU East was 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Yeah, shooting 100%. They also won rebounding 25-18, 11 on offense, 14 on defense. Had a total of 8 assists, 3 steals, 5 turnovers, 1 block, and 7 team fouls. For Cincinnati Christian, 11 of 29 from field goal range, shooting 37.93%. They were a little about 8% from three-point range there in the first half, shooting 1 for 12. They were 8 for 11 at the free throw line, shooting 72%. 5 offensive rebounds, 13 on defense for a total of 18 rebounds, a total of 4 assists, 3 steals, 7 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 7 fouls on the Eagles there in the first half. Well, we'll go ahead and take our halftime break. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes for the second half of tonight's Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference women's basketball game here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. 43-33 halftime score. IU East on top. Hello once again, and welcome to another episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the Think Pink game coming up for the IU East women's basketball team. We'll also be talking a little bit about track and field and an award that the athletic department recently received. But joining me first is women's basketball head coach Tiffany Selhorst to talk about the Play for Cave movement and the Think Pink basketball game. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Caleb.
Well, obviously this game is going to be coming up on February 13th. Just tell us a little bit about the history of this national movement, the Play for K movement.
Sure. Well, I guess it starts with Kay Yao, who is a Hall of Fame, or was a Hall of Fame coach for North Carolina State. She had been there for 30-plus years. Just had over 700 wins, had been to the NCAA tournament almost every year she was a coach there, gotten to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and even to the Final Four. Just very well known in the women's basketball community. About midway through her career, she was the first time that she dealt with breast cancer. And then she ended up having breast cancer for 3 times before it ended up actually taking her life. But because of that, before she left or before she passed away, she wanted to set up a foundation because she felt like if she had to go through all this stuff with the cancer and battling it and trying to juggle being a Division I head coach at the highest levels, she wanted it to count. She wanted it to help a lot of people. So they set up a foundation for her. And women's basketball teams all over the country at every level are taking part in this. We want to raise money for cancer research. It goes to the national level and Play for K, which I believe they have raised over $5 million at this point, almost $6 million towards research at the national level. But a lot of programs will also help the local level and partner with local chapters of hospitals or whatever it is that would do it for any kind of women's cancers, but definitely breast cancer.
All right, what were some of the things that you did at St. Francis in relation to the Play for KA game?
Sure. Think Pink was actually one of our biggest games there. We would have close to 1,500 people that would come to that game. You know, we would throw out free gear. We would ask for donations that we could donate to the local chapters at the hospitals for whoever was raising funds for women's cancer research at the time. We would also, one of our biggest things that the fans loved, we would wear pink uniforms. And then after the game, we would tie these up into these nice little plastic bags. Disgusting, but then we would put them on auction and we would raise more funds that way. So usually, I mean, we would raise a couple $1,000s that we were able to donate for that. So that was our biggest thing at St. Francis.
Okay, well, I mean, thinking back to like the Pink Out game for volleyball season, I mean, you've seen how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
How do you want the community and the school to get involved, maybe make this a little bit bigger than the Pink Out game?
Sure. Well, I think it's great that the Pink Out game for volleyball, and hopefully we can piggyback with that. You know, we're working with Bravo through Reed Hospital. They will be at our game. They're going to have a table set up. We're hoping that they can pass out some information. We are also asking that instead of admission and paying $5 to get into our game, that you just go ahead and walk over to their table and donate it directly to them. We're also going to be wearing our pink uniforms, which I am wearing today to show off a little bit. Our kids will be wearing that with some pink socks, and we're going to get into the whole thing. You know, breast cancer or women's cancers of any sort have touched almost everybody. It's one of those, 7 degrees that it's something that everybody has to deal with at some point in their life, and knowing somebody that has had it. I believe it's 1 in 4 women may experience breast cancer. That's a scary statistic, especially for a coach, because I'm thinking about my team, and it means that about 3 or 4 kids from my team may have to deal with this at some point. So I want to make this a big deal within the Richmond community. We're hoping that we can get people to come out just because Bravo is there and you're able to donate towards them and their cause, but with that, be able to check out a cool women's basketball game and see our team in action. We're really exciting to watch, as you know, because you're at almost every game. But yeah, just having a ton of people get on board with the Bravo thing, and then having a place that we can help them raise some funds towards cancer research.
All right. Do you have any personal connections with this at all?
The only real connection that I've had is I was able to meet Coach Kay Yao when she was alive. And she had, at that point, already gone through this twice. And just, it was just amazing to me to see her dedication to this. Every coach really has a passion to coach or a vision to coach and what they want to do for their life and impact women in these ways. But it was just really neat to see how much it meant to her to help not only just her basketball team, but just through this help women all over the country, because obviously it touched her, and she felt like there was a reason that she had to go through this. And it wasn't just to sit on her hands and whine about it. It was to make a difference. So that was a vehicle that she's used to promote cancer research.
All right, well, obviously it's going to be a home conference game that night against Brescia, so an exciting game. What do you expect to see there?
Well, Brescia is a really quick team. They press you the entire game. They like to get up and down the floor, and they've even been able to upset a few of the top teams in the conference already. So I know that they're going to be looking at stopping us or halting us as well. So it's going to be a quick game. It'll be very entertaining. If you don't know that much about basketball, there's going to be a lot of baskets made in that game, so It'll be fun.
All right, well, great game and a great cause. Anything else you'd like to add about either Play 4K or the Think Pink game that night?
Just that we really hope that we can get everybody involved within the community. This is a big deal, and we really want to make a connection with Bravo and continue to use this game. I would love to see this as being one of our biggest games that we can attract fans to, and understand that there's more to this than just basketball.
All right, well, thanks for joining. Be sure to make it over to the Tiernan Center on February 13th as the Red Wolves take on Brescia at home for the Think Pink Play 4K game. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports right after this.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. At halftime, the IU East Red Wolves lead by 10 over the Cincinnati Christian University Eagles. It's 43-33, a 10-point advantage for IU East going into the second half. Well, got some updated stats here. We'll go ahead and go through the percentages again for shooting. Cincinnati Christian was 12 for 33, shooting 36% from field goal range. They're also 1 for 12, shooting about 8% from three-point range, and 8 for 11 free throw line, shooting 73%. For IU East, 16 of 43 at the from field goal range in the first half, shooting 37%. They're also 5 for 10 in three-point range, shooting 50%, and 6 for 6 at the free throw line there in the first half, shooting 100%. Morgan, looks like it should be another great half here between these two teams.
I couldn't agree more, I think. Hopefully IU East pulls ahead and gets another really big win.
All right, well, IU East all this season comes in to tonight's game with a record of 11-9, 6-2 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. And Cincinnati Christian, 4 wins, 14 losses on the season, 1-7 in the KIAC. Well, it is going to be IU East basketball to get things underway to start the third quarter here at the Wright State University Nutter Center. Bailey Dryman taking the ball out of bounds here for IU East. Struggling to find somebody. Throws it in, finds Kristen Miller down at the block.
That was deep.
Cross the lane pass to Niehoff, out to the corner to King. And the shot there by Tia King to start off the third quarter. Bailey Dryman passes down to King, and it'll go off the chest of King. We've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian. And the foul goes against Letitia Caldwell. She picks up her second, team's first on the Eagles. Tia King in tonight's game has not scored yet, but she's 36 points away from 1,000 points on the season. Miller out to Niehoff for the three. This one off the rim, and the rebound by Allie Balzer. Balzer quickly gets it here to Macy Wingham, and she'll bring it down the floor for the Eagles. Pass over to the left side. Now back out to Balzer. Balzer down to Caldwell. Caldwell unable to finish. Moore with the basketball now for IU East. A 2-on-1. Nice find to Kristen Miller. Back to Moore. And Moore out to King. King puts up the three from the right wing off the back of the rim. Bailey Dryman gets to the ball before anyone else does. And it's back down underneath with Adriana Moore. Shot no good, and the rebound by Caldwell. No one scored here in the first minute of the third quarter. Still 43-33 with 8:55 to go.
Man, Tia almost had that.
Out of the right wing, Wingham. Down to Balzer. Balzer with the turnaround shot. And that'll make it 43-35. Down to an 8-point ball game. Tia King over on the right side of the floor with the basketball for IU East. Now a pass over to the left side. Miller puts up a three for the Red Wolves off the front of the rim. And Caldwell comes out with the basketball for CCU. Over on the left side of the floor. Doddridge comes around top, over to Wingham on the right wing. Now down in the right corner. Doddridge back to Wingham. Wingham to Caldwell. 10 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Now it'll be back into the hands of Bennett, who puts one up with 3 on the shot clock. Banks it in from way outside.
Man.
And it's 43-38.
That was an awesome shot.
Good shot
from
there
the
by Bailey Bennett. And Dryman down to the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Tia King dives down to pick it up. Tied up with Caldwell. And the possession arrow in favor of Cincinnati Christian with 7:43 to go. Cincinnati Christian will only have 29 on the shot clock. He sets it to 30. 7:40 to go in the third quarter. IU East up by 5, 43-38 is the score. Over to Bennett. Down to Caldwell. Caldwell. There'll be a foul called on IU East. The foul is going to go on number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff. She picks up her second and team's second on IU East here in the third quarter. Ball inbounds to Bailey Bennett. Bennett throws one up off the backboard once again. This one doesn't go. And Tia King will bring it on down the floor here for IU East. King out to Dryman. Dryman to Niehoff. Niehoff on the move to the basket. Down to Moore. Moore with the basket here for IU East. And that'll make it 45-38. Now I'll be back with Doddridge. Gets it into the hands of Wingham. Wingham out to Doddridge. Doddridge to Bennett. All the way down to the basket, unable to score, but Balzer got the rebound. One spins around off the rim for her. Yeah, the Red Wolves will take it to the other end in transition. Bailey Dryman gets one to fall for IU East, and now it's 47-38. Red Wolves back up by 9. Bring him over on the left side. Crosses over, comes back right. Down to Balzer. Balzer. This is the hook shot that time, and now Dryman brings it across center court for the Red Wolves. Dryman inside the lane, stripped away by Bailey Bennett. And Bennett on the move down the floor for Cincinnati Christian. Finds Wingham for the basket. And now it's 47-40 with 6:07 to go. Kristen Miller on the left side of the floor right now for IU East. Now goes right. Miller down to the basket. Blocked by Allie Balzer. Pass down the floor to Bailey Bennett. Now here's Bennett. Unable to finish. And Adriana Moore fighting for the basketball. Ties it up. Possession arrow to the Red Wolves. With 5:47 to go. So Kristen Reinhardt and number 4 Natalie Steppel back into the game for CCU with 5:47 to play in the third quarter. IU East will also bring in Libby Springmeyer to give Kristen Miller a break with 5:47 to go in the third quarter. IU East has only scored 4 points in the first 4:15 of the third quarter. King out to Moore. Moore backs the ball back out onto the wing. Now at the free throw line. Now down to Springmeyer. Springmeyer. Now here is Kerrigan Niehoff. Back over to the right side. Out to Tia King for the three. This one's short. And the rebound by Caldwell. Ball was loose there for just a second. Adriana Moore tried to get to it. And was beaten that time by Doddridge. Doddridge over to the right side. Bennett for another three off the back of the rim. Steppel gets to it over in front of the Cincinnati Christian bench. 7-point lead for IU East with 4:37 to go. Out to the corner. Doddridge for the three. Here's Tia King with the basketball now for IU East. Pass to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff stops underneath the basket. Gets one to go. She'll go to the free throw line for one. IU East now up 49-40. And Kerrigan Niehoff with the chance to make that a 10-point ball game. The foul's on number 4, Natalie Steppel. She picks up her first. And now here is Niehoff at the line to shoot one, but Caitlin Dobbins back into the ball game here for IU East. And Caitlin Dobbins kept the Red Wolves in the ball game there in the first half. 3 for 3 from three-point range, including one at the buzzer to go to the locker room. Free throw is good by Kerrigan Niehoff. That makes it a 10-point ball game, 50-40. 4:23 to play now in the third quarter. The over on the left side of the floor with Doddridge. Now out with Bennett. Reinhardt with the basketball now for CCU. Down to 11 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Doddridge loses it, and it'll be out of bounds off of Bailey Dryman. That'll stop the shot clock with 7 left on it. And we've got 4:04 to go in the third quarter. Doddridge takes it out on the right side of the floor by the three-point line in the corner. Right back to Doddridge. Doddridge stripped away with the ball there. And Bailey Dryman with it now for IU East. Pass to the right side to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff comes to a stop. Gives it to Bailey Dryman in the corner. Pass was supposed to go to Tia King, but picked off there by Cincinnati Christian after it goes through the hands of King. And now we've got a foul on the Red Wolves with 3:42 to go. Looks like this one's going to go against Bailey Dryman. She picks up her first personal. And that'll be 2 team fouls there on the Red Wolves. Sarah Cook back into the ball game for IU East. Work around over to the left side. Bennett down to Steppel. Bennett will get things set up here for the Eagles. Pass down in the left corner to Wingham. Now Wingham out on top of the key. Steppel for 3. Rebound by Sarah Cook, and Cook gives it to Caitlin Dobbins. Dobbins will pass down the floor to King. King down to Niehoff. Niehoff out to Cook. On a move to the basket. Draws a foul. She'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Chance to extend the IU East lead. The foul is on number 3, Letitia Caldwell. She picks up her 3rd and team's 3rd. That'll put Sarah Cook at the free throw line for the Red Wolves, and Cook is 2 for 2 at the line in today's game. As soon as I say that, misses the first free throw off the front of the rim. Few subs coming back into the game here for Cincinnati Christian, and that'll be Rachel Warren and Allie Balzer, along with Lexi Doddridge. Here's Cook for the second free throw. Ball's off the front of the rim, so Cook now 2 for 4. 3:09 to go in the third quarter. IU East up by 10. Wingham with the ball over on the left side of the floor for Cincinnati Christian. To the inside the lane, we've got a travel called now, as Balzer got a few extra steps in inside the lane that time. Stops the clock with 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Tia King with the ball out on the right wing for IU East. Now King over to Niehoff. And Niehoff with the basketball. Gives it to Springmeyer. Springmeyer tries to get it over to Dobbins. And we've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian. Looks like this one is going to go on number 2, Kristen Reinhardt, who picks up her 2nd and team's 4th on the Eagles. So Tia King will be taking it out of bounds in front of Coach Selhorst. And now it'll be over to the left side to Springmeyer. Back over to the right side. Dobbins looked at the 3, takes a few dribbles instead. Out to Springmeyer. Takes the 3 from top of the key. This one's off the rim. And it'll go out of bounds off the foot of Macy Wingham. 2:31 to go in the third quarter. Red Wolves up by 10. Inbound pass picked off by Allie Balzer. Wingham on a move down the floor for the Eagles. That'll be out on the right wing with Wingham. Still plenty of time for Cincinnati Christian to get a playoff here. It'll be out on top, now over to the left side. Pass inside to Reinhardt. Stopped by Niehoff, but a basket by Warren. Well, 50-42 with 2 minutes to go. Here's Tia King, gives it to Springmeyer. Springmeyer finds Niehoff. Down inside and scores for the Red Wolves. 52-42. Reinhardt gives the ball to Wingham, on around to Warren. Now Warren to Balzer. Shot taken by Reinhardt. A little too much, and the rebound by Kerrigan Niehoff, who gives it to Sarah Cook. Cook on down the floor here for IU East. Out to Niehoff. Niehoff to Springmeyer on top of the key for 3. This one no good. Tia King with the rebound. Got a shot off. Is able to get back to the ball. And now to go out of bounds off the foot of Libby Springmeyer with 1:12 to play. So into the game here for Cincinnati Christian will be number 32, Bailey Bennett.
She's had an excellent game today.
Back over to the right side with Doddridge. Doddridge gets a shot off. Ball's off the rim. Here's Tia King on a move down the floor. 1-on-1 going to the basket. Stripped away, and they're going to say out of bounds off of King. We'll give the ball back to Cincinnati Christian with 51.5. So it looks like we've...
Lexi Doldridge. She looked like holding her ankle, so there are endless possibilities of what that could be.
Right. All right, well, 51.5 to go here in the third quarter. IU East leads 52-42. And just a reminder, don't forget to stay tuned. Here on this stream, we'll have the men's game coming up next here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. IU East men's basketball team 13-9 on the season, 7-1 in KIAC play with that first conference loss against Point Park. And they're going up against Cincinnati Christian tonight for the number one spot there in the Colonial Division. Cincinnati Christian comes into the ball game 6-1, 15-4 on the season. So another great game coming up here at the Wright State University Nutter Center here in just a little bit. Well, 51.5 to go. IU East trainer from Reed Orthopedics, Jesse Tittle, is out there to help with Doddridge, as well as head coach Joshua Snyder. So she'll be checked out. A little slow getting up there, but in good hands with Jesse over there.
And Dodgers being their leading scorer. This could be an interesting game now for CCU.
42 seconds to go. Shot from the right elbow. Off the mark for Wingham. And the rebound by Cook. Going to call a jump ball. This one will go to CCU with 38.4. New shot clock here for the Eagles. Wingham gets it in bounds to Bennett. Now to be out over on the left side with Wingham. Now with Balzer. Balzer gives it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt on a move to the basket. And the offensive foul called. Good move there by Sarah Cook. Sarah Cook takes the charge, and that'll be Reinhardt's third.
Her teammates were pretty happy with that. They all got up and cheered for her, so that must be something they've been working on with Sarah Cook.
23.5 to go in the third quarter. The Red Wolves lead by 10. Tia King with the basketball right now for IU East. No shot clock here for the Red Wolves. And King and...
Man, she had that behind her back. That was...
Impressive to tie it up that way. Possession arrow.
Yeah,
Possession arrow to the Red Wolves. Lob inbounds to Springmeyer. Springmeyer with the basket. And that'll put the Red Wolves up 54-42 after 3 quarters of play. IU East leads by 12. Morgan, tell us a little bit about the third quarter.
It's kind of a slow quarter. Both teams definitely took up the shot clock today. IU East actually only had 11 points in that quarter, so almost a point for every minute played. Right. Like I said, CCU's really going to have to step it up right now. Leading scorer, Lexi Doldridge, making sure I had her first name right, out right now with an ankle injury. This could be interesting for both teams. IU East could take it as a runaway, and CCU really has to step up right now. I'm excited for this fourth quarter, and man, it's a toss-up.
All right. Well, after 3 quarters, Red Wolves lead 54-42 here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Red Wolves lead by 12 after 3, 54-42. It'll be a Cincinnati Christian ball to begin the fourth quarter. Over the left side, Bennett passes down to Caldwell. Now on over to the right side. Steppel back to Wingham. And now it'll be with Steppel back over to Bennett. Shot clock down to 10. Shot no good. Caldwell with the rebound and the put back for Cincinnati Christian. And now it's 54-44. Kerrigan Niehoff was calling for the ball down low. She was wide open. Here's Kristen Miller. Out to Niehoff. Niehoff over to the right side. Dobbins puts up the three. Misses this one, so she's now 3 for 4 from three-point range. 9:08 to play in the fourth quarter. Ball over on the left side of the floor. Steppel on around to Bennett. Under 9 minutes to play now here at the Wright State University Nutter Center. Bennett down to Caldwell. Caldwell gets the shot off, but it doesn't go. Now here is Niehoff. Passes on down the floor. Caitlin Dobbins with the basketball. Dobbins over to Niehoff. Niehoff from the free throw line. Hits this one. And now it is going to be 56-44.
Kerrigan's leading us with 17 points right now. And, Ori has a double-double. There we go. 13 rebounds.
Good basket here for Cincinnati Christian. This is going to be a foul on IU East. This one is going to go against number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff. So she gets the basket on one end, commits the foul on the other end of the floor. And that'll put Caldwell at the line to shoot one. 8:26 to play with Caldwell at the line. Out on the floor right now for IU East. King, Miller, Dryman, Dobbins, and Niehoff. Nice free throw by Caldwell. Reinhardt was able to get there with the rebound. Missed the shot. Dobbins passes on down the floor to Kristen Miller. Miller to Dryman. Dryman out to Niehoff. Down into the corner. Three-point shot by Kristen Miller. This one will be short off the rim. Wingham bringing it on down the floor here for Cincinnati Christian. She's got it out on the right wing. Gives it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt to Bennett. Takes the three. This one off the back of the rim and the rebound by Kerrigan Niehoff. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Haley Dryman goes over to the right side, hands it off to King. King takes the three. This one up and in for Tia King. And Tia King with her first basket of the ball game.
It's kind of shocking for Tia.
Yeah.
20 points last game and 3 today.
Here's Reinhardt. Reinhardt out to Caldwell on top. Red Wolves currently lead by 13. It's 59-46. Over to the left side to Bennett. Bennett down to Balzer. We've got a foul called on IU East. It's going to go against Kerrigan Niehoff. So Niehoff into foul trouble here quickly in the fourth quarter. So Adriana Moore and Sarah Cook will be back into the Red Wolves lineup with 7:13 to play. All inbounds to Bennett. Bennett with one off the glass, and that makes it 59-48. Here's Bailey Dryman out on top for IU East. And Bailey Dryman has 10 points right now for IU East. We've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian. And this one's going to go against number 3, Letitia Caldwell, who also picks up her fourth. So that'll bring Natalie Steppel back into the game for Cincinnati Christian. So over to Miller. Miller to King. And King misses the layup. And now foul on IU East. This one is going to go against number 12, Adriana Moore. She picks up her third, so a couple of the Red Wolves starting to get into some foul trouble here in the fourth quarter. Niehoff has got 4. Moore now with 3. Tia King has got 2.
IU East really can't afford any more fouls.
Now it'll be out on top with Balzer. Tried to pass it down inside to Reinhardt, but the pick off there by the Red Wolves. Dryman down to Moore. Here's Moore going to the basket. Stopped down low, and now Bennett comes out with the basketball, and we've got a foul called on the Red Wolves.
It's like a football game out there. Everybody was on the field.
So this foul is on number 33, Sarah Cook, who picked up her second. 59-48. Red Wolves up by 11 with 6:15 to go in the ball game. Nice find down low to Allie Balzer. And she gets it down to a 9-point game, 59-50 with the basket. Dryman over to Cook. Here's Sarah Cook. Gets the shot off, doesn't finish. And Balzer with the rebound for the Eagles. Balzer gives it to Wingham, who will bring it on down the floor for Cincinnati Christian. And we've got a timeout taken on the far side of the floor by Cincinnati Christian. It'll be a full timeout with 5:53 to go in the game. IU East leads 59-50 in the fourth quarter here on the Red Bull Sports Network.
Timeout, Cincinnati Christian.
Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IU East Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IU East athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Bull Sports Network. IU East right now with the 59-50 lead. 5:53 to go in the ball game. Over to the right side, it'll be Balzer, misses the shot. Cook with the rebound. IU East needs to get a basket here on this possession. It's been a little while since the Red Wolves have scored at this end of the floor. Back over to the right side, Bailey Dryman with the ball. Now Dryman trying to get it down inside. It'll go out of bounds. And to the Eagles with 5:31 to go.
Both teams really haven't seen a point in a while.
Let me back over on the left side. It's with Wingham. Working around to Bennett. And it out on the right wing here for Cincinnati Christian. Gives it to Wingham. Wingham over to the right wing. Shot clock down to 8. And three-point shot taken by Balzer. It'll be short off the front end of the iron that time. Here is Adriana Moore on down the floor for IU East. Moore into the left corner, out to King. 4:53 to go. Here's King inside the lane. Dishes off to Bailey Dryman. Dryman with the basket for the Red Wolves. And now the score is 61-50 with 4:44 to go.
Definitely ended the dry spell for IU East, and much needed.
Balzer with the basket on the other end for Cincinnati Christian. 61-52 with 4:34 to go. Here's Bailey Dryman over to the right side to Tia King. King to Sarah Cook. Cook to Moore. Moore doesn't come up with the basket. And the ball now with the Eagles. Pass across the floor to Steppel. Steppel out of the corner. Now to be on top of the key with Balzer. Still 17 up on the shot clock for Cincinnati Christian. Wingham passes down inside to Balzer. Now here is Tia King. Pass down to Adriana Moore. Moore underneath the basket to Dryman. King looks at the three, dribbles to the right, inside the lane, down to the block. Doesn't get the layup to fall, but she is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line for IU East. And this foul is going to go on number 4, Natalie Steppel. She picks up her second, team second on Cincinnati Christian. So here's Tia King at the free throw line for the Red Wolves. King at the free throw line for the first time in tonight's game. And free throw is good for Tia King. That makes it 62-52.
She shoots about 80% at the line, so.
Asia Boyd back into the ball game for the Red Wolves. Asia, a 5'7" sophomore from Anderson. Here's the free throw from King. This one is good as well. And that'll make it 63-52 with 3:48 to go. And over on the left side, now down to Reinhardt. Reinhardt out to Steppel on top of the key. Over to the right side now with Bennett. Bennett back over to Wingham. Puts up the three. Off the rim, out of bounds. It'll go to the Red Wolves. .334 to go. 11-point lead. Pass on up the floor to Springmeyer. Now Springmeyer gives it to Dryman. Dryman with the ball out on top of the key. Now back over to the right side to Tia King. King from the free throw line. Doesn't get this one to go. Bailey Dryman out to Daisha Boyd. This one doesn't go either. And Caldwell with the rebound for Cincinnati Christian. Down to Reinhardt. Reinhardt back out to Caldwell. Over to Bailey Bennett. Bennett had Bailey Dryman all over her. Springmeyer tried to get to it as well. Nothing called, but a basket down underneath by Natalie Steppel. Here's Dryman. Passes on down to Kristen Miller. Down to a 9-point game, 63-54. Daisha Boyd finds Bailey Dryman. Dryman doesn't get the finish, and now it'll be on down the floor with Wingham. Here's Wingham with the layup, 63-56 with 2:25 to go. Bailey Dryman gives it to Boyd. Boyd back over to King. And the Red Wolves going to have to take advantage of every offensive possession here on out.
Man.
Pass way on down the floor to Reinhardt. Bailey Dryman able to get some defensive position and a foul called on Dryman. So Dryman will pick up her second. And now here is Kristen Reinhardt at the free throw line for Cincinnati Christian. Free throw was no good for Reinhardt. 2:05 to go in the fourth quarter. The Red Wolves lead 63-56. Kerrigan Niehoff back into the ball game. Been a little while since we've seen Niehoff out on the floor. She had to leave the game early there in the third quarter as she picked up her fourth personal foul. Here's the second free throw from Reinhardt. Doesn't go. Good hustle there by Niehoff. Able to get the ball to Bailey Dryman. Now Dryman over to King. King to the basket and scores 65-56. Now on over to the right side. It'll be with Bennett. And a timeout taken by Joshua Snyder and the Cincinnati Christian University Eagles. IU East leads 65-56, a 9-point advantage for the Red Wolves with 1:47 to play in the fourth quarter here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IUE Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IUE's athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20.
And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. 1:47 to go in the ball game coming out of a timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. Right now, the IU East Red Wolves have the 65-56 lead. And ball inbounds to Allie Balzer. Balzer misses the shot off the bottom of the rim. And now Bailey Dryman with the basketball here for the Red Wolves. Now over into the left corner. He out on top. King down to the basket, scores, and will get the and one. So the foul will be on Balzer. She picks up her third. And now here is Tia King at the free throw line for the Red Wolves to shoot one. And Tia hits this one. So that'll make it 68-56. The Red Wolves now lead by 12. Out of the right wing with Bennett. Now over on the left side with Wingham. Bennett for the three, top of the key. And this one, no good. Here's Kristen Miller with the ball. 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. Kristen Miller over to Tia King. Now King out on the left wing. And gets a shot off inside the lane. It won't go. And now Macy Wingham brings the ball down the floor for the Eagles. Backs it out. And Allie Balzer with the basket for the Eagles. Stops the clock with 31.4. And now Bailey Dryman with it. Pass over to the left side. Springmeyer. Picked off by Wingham. And Wingham on down the floor. And a foul called on Bailey Dryman. So Dryman will pick up her third. Makes the first free throw.
According to the stat sheet, Macy Wingham has never made a free throw.
On the season?
For the season.
Huh.
Yeah. 0 for 0. That's a little strange in January.
It's late in the season, yeah.
Her and Kristen Reinhardt both have 0-0 or 0% for the free throw line.
All right, well, the Red Wolves are going to take this one by 8. And IU East will improve to 12-9 on the season, 7-2 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Cincinnati Christian now forward 15.
Looking at CCU's score from the IUE Southeast game, it was going to be a little bit of a blowout. However, like almost every game, it was a little bit closer. Definitely a good fight for both teams, and I'm very, IUE's won, so I'm very happy with that. Definitely not the comeback that it was against Point Park, and I think that's something that the coaching staff has worked with, especially when I talked to Coach Moore. She said that's something they definitely worked with for today's game and for the next few KIAC games. So they should be proud with how today went, and definitely enjoying the Nutter Center, and I'm sure Coach Selhorst is happy to be back home. So great game, girls.
All right, well, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back with the post-game interview and the post-game stats here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Stay tuned, don't go away. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball for the post-game show here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Joining me is Kristen Miller. Obviously a great conference win here on the road, technically at home today here at the
the most important game of our season.
Right.
We're fighting for first in our conference, so we have to win every game from here on out in order to prove everyone wrong, you know?
Right. Well, obviously a little bit of a slow start there in the first quarter. What adjustments were you guys able to make as a team, come back and take the lead and hang on to the lead for the rest of the ball game?
Our transition defense was by far the one thing we need to fix,
Right.
you know, for the most part. Help side, forcing left and ball pressure. They're a great team, you know, and we just had to play our game. We got away from it a little bit throughout the game, but luckily enough, we stuck through it.
All right, well, another big game coming up on Thursday on the road at Ohio Christian. What do you expect to see out of the Trailblazers this time?
Definitely a better game than what it was before. We played one of our best games against them at Earlham College, and it was really fun, so we got to keep that energy and stick to the game plan, and we'll be fine.
All right, anything else you'd like to add about today's game?
Nope, it was a good win. Let's go, boys.
All right, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Congratulations on today's win.
Thanks.
Well, the Red Wolves take the win here this evening, and it's a 68-60 win for the IU East Red Wolves. Unable to get a printout of the stats yet. We'll be sure to have those posted online at IU Red Wolves sometime tonight or early tomorrow. Well, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and it looks like we've got about 26 minutes in the warm-up clock for the guys. So we'll come back on the air here about 20 minutes or less here on the Red Wolves Sports Network for the men's basketball pregame show here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. IU East Red Wolves take the win here in the women's basketball game, improved to 12-9 on the season, 7-2 in the KIAC. Cincinnati Christian now 4-15, 1-8. We'll be right back with the men's pregame show here in about 20 minutes on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello once again, and welcome to another episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the Think Pink game coming up for the IU East women's basketball team. We'll also be talking a little bit about track and field and an award that the athletic department recently received. But joining me first is women's basketball head coach Tiffany Selhorst to talk about the Play for Cave movement and the Think Pink basketball game. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Caleb.
Well, obviously this game is going to be coming up on February 13th. Just tell us a little bit about the history of this national movement, the Play for K movement.
Sure. Well, I guess it starts with Kay Yao, who is a Hall of Fame, or was a Hall of Fame coach for North Carolina State. She had been there for 30-plus years. Just had over 700 wins, had been to the NCAA tournament almost every year she was a coach there. Gotten to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and even to the Final Four. Just very well known in the women's basketball community. About midway through her career, she was the first time that she dealt with breast cancer. And then she ended up having breast cancer for 3 times before it ended up actually taking her life. But because of that, before she left or before she passed away, she wanted to set up a foundation because she felt like if she had to go through all this stuff with the cancer and battling it and trying to juggle being a Division I head coach at the highest levels, she wanted it to count. She wanted it to help a lot of people. So they set up a foundation for her, and women's basketball teams all over the country at every level are taking part in this. We want to raise money for cancer research. It goes to the national level and Play for K, which I believe they have raised over $5 million at this point, almost $6 million towards research at the national level. But a lot of programs will also help the local level and partner with local chapters of hospitals or whatever it is that would do it for any kind of women's cancers, but definitely breast cancer.
All right, what were some of the things that you did at St. Francis in relation to the Play for K game?
Sure. Think Pink was actually one of our biggest games there. We would have close to 1,500 people that would come to that game. You know, we would throw out free gear. We would ask for donations that we could donate to the local chapters at the hospitals for whoever was raising funds for women's cancer research at the time. We would also, one of our biggest things that the fans loved, we would wear pink uniforms. And then after the game, we would tie these up into these nice little plastic bags. Disgusting, but then we would put them on auction and we would raise more funds that way. So usually, I mean, we would raise a couple $1,000s that we were able to donate for that. So that was our biggest thing at St. Francis.
Okay, well, I mean, thinking back to like the pink out game for volleyball season, I mean, you've seen how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
How do you want the community and the school to get involved, maybe make this a little bit bigger than the pink out game?
Sure. Well, I think it's great that the pink out game for volleyball, and hopefully we can piggyback with that. You know, we're working with Bravo through Reed Hospital. They will be at our game. They're going to have a table set up. We're hoping that they can pass out some information. We are also asking that instead of admission and paying $5 to get into our game, that you just go ahead and walk over to their table and donate it directly to them. We're also going to be wearing our pink uniforms, which I am wearing today to show off a little bit. Our kids will be wearing that with some pink socks, and we're going to get into the whole thing. You know, breast cancer or women's cancers of any sort have touched almost everybody. It's one of those, 7 degrees that it's something that everybody has to deal with at some point in their life, and knowing somebody that has had it. I believe it's 1 in 4 women may experience breast cancer. That's a scary statistic, especially for a coach, because I'm thinking about my team, and it means that about 3 or 4 kids from my team may have to deal with this at some point. So I want to make this a big deal within the Richmond community. We're hoping that we can get people to come out just because Bravo is there and you're able to donate towards them and their cause, but with that, be able to check out a cool women's basketball game and see our team in action. We're really exciting to watch, as you know, because you're at almost every game. But yeah, just having a ton of people get on board with the Bravo thing, and then having a place that we can help them raise some funds towards cancer research.
All right. Do you have any personal connections with this at all?
The only real connection that I've had is I was able to meet Coach Kay Yao when she was alive. And she had, at that point, already gone through this twice. And just, it was just amazing to me to see her dedication to this. Every coach really has a passion to coach or a vision to coach and what they want to do for their life and impact women in these ways. But it was just really neat to see how much it meant to her to help not only just her basketball team, but just through this help women all over the country, because obviously it touched her, and she felt like there was a reason that she had to go through this. And it wasn't just to sit on her hands and whine about it. It was to make a difference. So that was a vehicle that she's used to promote cancer research.
All right. Well, obviously it's going to be a home conference game that night against Brescia, so an exciting game. What do you expect to see there?
Well, Brescia is a really quick team. They press you the entire game. They like to get up and down the floor, and they've even been able to upset a few of the top teams in the conference already. So I know that they're going to be looking at stopping us or halting us as well. So it's going to be a quick game. It'll be very entertaining. If you don't know that much about basketball, there's going to be a lot of baskets made in that game, so it'll be fun.
All right, well, great game and a great cause. Anything else you'd like to add about either Play 4K or the Think Pink game that night?
Just that we really hope that we can get everybody involved within the community. This is a big deal, and we really want to make a connection with Bravo and continue to use this game. I would love to see this as being one of our biggest games that we can attract fans to, and understand that there's more to this than just basketball.
All right, well, thanks for joining. Be sure to make it over to the Tiernan Center on February 13th as the Red Wolves take on Brescia at home for the Think Pink Play 4K game. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports right after this.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
welcome to this week's Pack Preview. I'm Tia King, and I'm here with Coach Rigby. Coach Rigby, thank you for being here with me today.
No problem.
So, before we start off, I want to talk about last game, Point Park. What happened that game?
Started out shooting it really well. Got to a pretty big lead. And I think we got a little conservative, a little too quick. Had a 10-point lead with, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes left. And again, just kind of too many passes, too many extra passes, not taking the right look, maybe slowing it down, which isn't quite our game.
Right.
Just not doing things that we did early in the game to get that lead, and kind of gave it away at the end. I mean, that's just what it came down to.
Exactly. So I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but do you think that your team overlooked them because they did beat them the first time and thinking it'll be just as easy?
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, so many people on the team, you don't know where their head is, all of them. But we knew going into there that they play a lot better at home. Something about traveling gets everybody really, but they play a lot better at home. They usually shoot it a lot better at home. So we knew we were going to have our hands full no matter what we did. And it's always going to be a close game with them because they could just knock down so many shots.
Right. So coming off of this loss, how has practice been in preparing for Cincinnati Christian tonight?
Well, we didn't have a whole lot of time, short turnaround, but really getting a lot of shooting in. Trying to minimize the physicality this late in the season. Guys are starting to wear down a little bit, so you try to minimize that as much as you can. Focusing more on the detailed stuff of how we're guarding certain actions that they run and things like that. So that's basically what we've been doing.
Cincinnati Christian is ranked number 11 in the nation in rebounds. What is the team going to do, like, to keep them off the boards?
Yeah, that's a big focus for us. We know they rebounded really well. Their interior players are really good. Offensively and defensively. So that's going to be a focus of ours. You just have to go get it. With rebounding, it's more of a 1-2 thing. You can teach how to box out and do all that stuff, but if you don't go get it, then you're not going to come up with it. So talked a lot about wanting to rebound it and going to get the ball and just having a kind of an attitude about it.
Okay, so all conference games are pretty much big games. Cincinnati Christian is 6-1 in the Captain Division, and you're 7-1 in the Colonial Division. So how big of a game is this? Because it's like win or lose. Like, one of us is changing the game.
Yeah, like you said, a lot. I mean, when it comes down to it, all the conference games are big. It doesn't matter which division you're in. And the rest of our games are I would consider them big games. I mean, they're against some of the top half of the conference, so we got our work cut out for us for sure.
So this game isn't a home game, but it's a home game away from home. We get to play at Wright State in the Nutter Center. So how exciting is that for the guys, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, it's exciting. When I played, I know we played at a couple different places, but I know it's fun just to get out and play in those big arenas. I know the guys like them. It may not be full like they would be for the actual home team, but they enjoy playing in new places and seeing different things, and it's good to give them that opportunity. You don't always get that opportunity as a player.
Okay, so you were able to play at a Division I arena as well?
Yeah, actually, we played at Bankers Life. It was Conseco whenever I played, which is a pretty big arena.
Yeah.
And then at IUPUI, and then Northern Kentucky was Division II. They're Division I now, but they were Division II when I played. But their arena is nice. I mean, just as nice as everybody else's. So played in a couple.
Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to watching this game. I know it's going to be a big one. I'm Tia King, and I'm going to send it back to the commentators at Nutter Center.
Once again, and welcome to IU East Men's Basketball on the Red Wolf Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock, along with Ty Butler, here at the Wright State University Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Well, the IU East Men's Basketball team comes into tonight's game with a record of 13-9 on the season, 7-1 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and the Cincinnati Christian Eagles. They are 15-4, 6-1 in the KIAC. IU East is coming off of a 70-68 loss at Point Park University on January 23rd. IU East has won 9 of 17 NAIA meetings against Cincinnati Christian. But the Eagles have won the last 5 meetings, including an 87-73 victory in Cincinnati last season. Cincinnati Christian has now won 3 in a row and 11 of their last 12. CCU's most recent game was a 63-43 home win against Indiana University Southeast on January 19th. Kenny Gaynor, a 6'7 senior forward, averages 13.1 points per game to lead 5 CCU players who average double digits in scoring. Gaynor is also averaging a team-high 7 rebounds per game and half block per game. At this time, let's listen in to Indiana University East Public announcer Dennis Hicks for tonight's starting lineups.
At guard, number 12, Nick Seibert. At forward, number 13, Kenny Gaynor. At guard, number 30, DJ McCommon. And at forward, number 33, Drew Shelton. The Eagles are coached by head coach Kellen Zawatsky, assistant coaches Eric Sterling and Max Pendering. And now, the starting lineup for your Indiana University East Red Wolves. Starting at forward, a 6'6" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 0, John Williams. At guard, a 6'2" sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 5, Jacoby Claypool. At guard, a 6'3" senior out of Hammond, Indiana, number 10, Vashe Davis. At guard, a 6'7" sophomore out of Indianapolis, Indiana, number 32, Lucas Huffman. And at guard, a 6'3" senior out of Kokomo, Indiana, number 33, Parker Salinas. The Red Wolves are coached by head coach Mark Hester, assistant coaches Tyler Rigby and David Sanders. Your officials for tonight's game are James Trouncey, James Foster, and Steve Short.
All right, well, the new top 25 poll is out. IU East comes in at number 33, and Cincinnati Christian comes in inside the top 25, ranked 25th in the nation right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. IU East right now leads the Colonial Division, and Cincinnati Christian leads the Capital Division. Looks like it's going to be a great matchup here between these two teams this evening at the Wright State University Nutter Center. Ty, what do you expect to see out of these two teams here tonight?
Pretty good battle here, the two top teams here in the KIAC. Kind of testing each other out, a little makeup game for what could possibly be the championship of the KIAC later on in the year.
All right, well, if IU East can hang on to this game here tonight and take the win and win out in the conference games the rest of the season, they'll have a berth to the national tournament. Tip is up, and it'll go to the Eagles to get things started off here at the Nutter Center this evening. Go over to the right side. Ball right now in the hands of Burton. And the shot up and in to get things started by Nick Seibert. Seibert gets the Eagles off with the 2-0 start in the ball game. Here's Vashe Davis out on the right wing for the Red Wolves. Gets it to Parker Salinas. Salinas on around over to Claypool. And we've got a foul here on the Eagles. Be their first team foul. And the foul is going to go against number 4, Kyrie Burton. He picks up his first. A 19:26 to play in the first half. Lucas Huffman taking it out next to the Cincinnati Christian bench. Finds Jacoby Claypool out top. Hands it back off to Huffman. Huffman to Dom Williams. And Williams inside to Claypool. Claypool gets the Red Wolves on the board, ties it up at 2. Now it'll be passed over to the right side once again to Burton. Now back over here to the left side to McCommons. McCommons inside the lane. Doesn't get it to go. And the rebound by Vashe. Passes on down the floor to Lucas Huffman. Huffman to Williams. Williams will go left. Gives it to Jacoby Claypool on top of the key. Now Claypool down the right side of the lane. No good. And now it'll be down to the other end of the floor with the Eagles in the hands of Burton. Burton gives it out top to Shelton. Back to Burton. Now down low to Kenny Gaynor. And Gaynor gets the basket for the Eagles, puts them back up by 2, 4-2, 18:31 to play. Toby Claypool struggling to find some help, finds Don Williams, who gets it right back to Claypool before he falls. Down to Salinas in the corner for the 3, up and in, and Parker Salinas puts the Red Wolves up by 1, 5-4. The ball now with Seibert back over here to Burton. Burton has the pass on down to Shelton, and now it'll be back out to Burton to get the offense set up for the Eagles. 15 on the shot clock for CCU. Burton goes over to the right side of the floor. Tries to find Gaynor. Now back over to the left side. Three-point shot from the corner by Seibert, up and in. And now a 2-point lead for the Eagles, 7-5. Don Williams with the basketball. Gives it to Claypool, works it on over to Vache Davis on the left side. Now to Huffman on top. He makes his way down toward the basket. Nice hesitation on the basket by Huffman to tie the ball game up at 7. 17:20 to play in the first half. He tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Cincinnati Christian. All tied up at 7 here in the first half at Wright State University. Taking out of bounds will be DJ McCommons, a 5'11 senior guard out of Dayton. It's an inbounds to Kyrie Burton. Now back over to the left side to McCommons on the wing. Shot clock down to 10 for the Eagles. Seibert passes down low. And a basket made here by Shelton. That'll put the Eagles up by 2, 9-7, with 16:53 to go. Here's Vache Davis inside the lane for the Red Wolves. Out to Salinas for 3 from top of the key. Up and in for Parker Salinas. And now the Red Wolves have the 1-point advantage once again, 10-9. And Parker Salinas now 2 for 2 from 3-point range. Pass over to McCommons. And we go out of bounds. We'll stay with the Eagles with 16:28 to play. Sub comes into the game here for Cincinnati Christian. That'll be number 23, Robbie Williams. Seibert will take it out of bounds here for the Eagles. Tipped by Salinas. And now it's inbounds to Seibert. Seibert gives it to Burton. Burton goes left. Working back around to Seibert. Shot clock down to 6 for the Eagles. And still there by Don Williams for IU East. Claypool brings it on down the floor and will give it to Vache Davis. And Claypool called for the double dribble there before he got it to Vache. So I'll turn it over to the Eagles with 16:04 to play here in the first half.
Definitely the Red Wolves are going to have to force the inside play. Currently, CCU has the upper hand when it comes to post players, especially with their 2 leading scorers being postmen. So we really need to get them in foul trouble, kind of lengthen out their front court there.
Burton brings it on down, gets it to Seibert over on the left side of the floor. Now back to the right side to Williams. Now Burton has it going over to the right side, gives it to Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams gives it to Burton on the left wing. Now Burton looking to get inside the lane. Almost lost the ball. Now still has it. 3 on the shot clock. Gets the shot off. Won't go. Seibert with the rebound. No one around him. And gets shot off. It won't go either. And it'll be tipped out. Jacoby Claypool gets to the ball for the Red Wolves. Claypool to the basket. Unable to finish. Lucas Huffman with the basket for the Red Wolves. And now IU East leads by 3. 12-9. 15-16 to go. Back over to the right side to Nick Seibert. Seibert tried to pass there to Kenny Gaynor. Almost picked off by Parker Salinas. Now back over to the left side with Burton. Shot clock under 10 for the Eagles. Down to 3 with Robbie Williams. 1 on the shot clock. And now the whistle for the shot clock violation. 14:45 to go.
Refs currently allowing a lot of physical contact, so right now it's really been physical, so we'll see if this holds up later on. Might get some touchy foul calls here and there, but kind of see how this game takes it.
Definitely be interesting. Getting to play a lot out there tonight.
Yep. I'd love to see just a nice physical game if the refs just let them play, but you never know. You never know.
You always want it to be that way both halves as well, not just one half.
Of course.
All right, well, Claypool will take it over to the left side of the floor. Now Claypool will come to a stop, gets it to Vache Davis. He takes the three, knocks it down, and now the Red Wolves lead by 6, 15-9. Red Wolves definitely shooting well from beyond the arc in today's game. Now back over to the right side. It'll be out top with Burton. He passes over to McCommons on the left wing. McCommons inside the lane, gets the shot off. And foul called here on the Red Wolves. This one will go against Jacoby Claypool. So Claypool will pick up his first. And team's first on the Red Wolves. And that'll put DJ McCommons at the line to shoot 2 for Cincinnati Christian. First free throw is good. So far this season, McCommons, a 72% free throw shooter. Aaron Thomas will come into the game first time here today for IU East. And Nick Bollenbacher in as well. Second free throw good for McCommons. Now 15-11. There's Bollenbacher. Gets it across half court for the Red Wolves. Here's Parker Salinas out top. Salinas goes over to the left side. A handoff to Lucas Huffman. Now 13:45 to go in the first half. Huffman takes the shot. Picked up by Aaron Thomas. Thomas goes back up. Able to tip it back out and get the ball to Vache. And now 13:35 to go in the first half. The Red Wolves still lead by 4. Out into the corner to Huffman. Huffman stops out on the elbow. Parker Salinas for the three. Up and in for Parker Salinas.
He's having a game so far from 3.
Parker Salinas in tonight's game has already got 9 points.
I'd have to guess all for 3.
Yeah. Now we go over to the left side. Back with McCommons. Now down low into the corner with Blake Walsman. And now we go to the Red Wolves. Out of bounds, 13 minutes to play. So 13:09 to go. They've got a timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. IU East leads 18-11, 13 minutes to play in the first half here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Dylan Newman, a dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
$1.7.
And welcome back to IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network, where IU East has the 18-11 lead. And right now, IU East shooting 4 for 4 from three-point range. And Cincinnati Christian ranked 18th in the nation in three-point field goal defense at allowing 32%. So right now, struggling defending that IU East three-point shot here early on in the first half. 12:51 to go. Vache Davis with the ball out top for IU East. He's going to come over to the right side off the screen from Thomas. Goes down to the block, gets the shot off, fouled, and will go to the line for 2 shots. This will be the second team foul on the Eagles in the first half. And this foul will go on number 3, Jarrell Moses. He picks up his first. So here's Vache Davis at the line. Shoot some free throws for the Red Wolves. First free throw for Vache is good. Shoots 84% at the line this season. Second free throw for Vacher. Go off the front end of the rim, no good. Red Wolves lead by 8, 19-11 with 12:38 to go. A.J. McCommons has the ball right now for CCU. Passes down into the corner. The wall's been back out to McCommons. McCommons goes off the screen. Set by Shelton. Now back down into the corner with Burton. 3-point shot taken and knocked down by Terrell Moses. And that'll make it a 5-point ball game. 19-14, 12-11 to play in the first half. Nick Bollenbacher brings the ball over to the left side. Almost lost it. Throws out into the corner. Huffman for the three, up and in. And 22-14. Here's DJ McCommons. Got an off-balance shot off. Hung there on the rim for just a minute and fell off. Now Salinas passes over to Nick Bollenbacher. Bollenbacher over to Huffman. Huffman back to Bollenbacher. Now to Vacher. Lucas Huffman with the ball, and we've got a foul called here on Cincinnati Christian. This one looks like it's going to go against number 12, Nick Seibert. He picks up his first and team's third. So 11:29 to play in the first half. 22-14 the score. IU East with the lead in the first half at the Wright State University Nutter Center. We'll be right back with more men's basketball here on the Red Wolf Sports Network.
Dylan, terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East men's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Red Wolves continue to have a great shooting display to start off the ball game, shooting 8 for 12 in field goal range, 5 for 5 in three-point range. A great start here to this ball game for the Red Wolves, Ty.
Yeah, good start for the Red Wolves. They're really attacking, finding the open shooters. They've been fortunate enough to knock them down. I know from a coach's standpoint, you can't really just expect them to hit every shot, but so far you can't complain with what you're seeing right now for the Red Wolves if you're a fan of IU East.
11:29 to go in the first half. IU East has the 22-14 lead. Looks like the Red Wolves got caught with 6 guys out on the floor, so Parker Salinas will jog over to the bench.
Trying to get that open shooter.
Yeah. Hey, why not have 6 on 5? Bollenbacher inbounds the ball to Lucas Huffman out top. Huffman will give it right back to Bollenbacher. Bollenbacher out to Nate Niehoff. He's just entered the ball game. Here's Lucas Huffman, another 3-point shot made by the Red Wolves. And the Red Wolves lead 25-14. Let's go out of bounds. It'll stay with Cincinnati Christian.
Curtis wasn't too happy with
no,
that
I was just
call.
thinking the same thing. I was trying to decide whether or not to say anything. But
nope. You got to love him, though. I mean, he is
sure.
really, he keeps a lot of energy with that bench. And when he doesn't like a call, he's not afraid to call it out.
Here's Walson. He's going to get a shot off. And now it'll be a foul on the Red Wolves. Looks like this one's going to go against Nate Niehoff. He'll pick up his first.
If you're going to foul him, make sure they don't get it close to that rim.
So here is Walsman at the line to shoot 2. First free throw off the rim, no good. Right now, IU East with the 11-point lead, 11:04 to go. Second free throw for Walsman. No good either. Eagles come out with the basketball. Drill Moses gets a hook shot up and goes in. 25-16. a little ahead, ready for the game to be over, apparently.
Just a little bit.
65, man. So he'll be out on the right side with Claypool. He's out on the wing. Nate Niehoff for the three. And the Red Wolves continue the three-point shooting streak. Nobody missing here for the Red Wolves in the first half. Out of the corner, DJ McCollins puts up a three. This one will be short. Rebound by Kenny Gaynor. Back out to McCollins. Now down in the corner. Walsman. Pass over the left side. It'll be with Jarrell Moses. Now back over to the right side. DJ McCollins gets the shot off and scores. 28-18. Here's Claypool. The ball across center court for the Red Wolves. Has it back to Burton there for a moment. Now Nick Moldenbacher with the basketball. Moldenbacher backs it back out. Now Moldenbacher tried to pass to Aaron Thomas. It'll be picked off by CCU's number 3, Jarrell Moses, and he calls for timeout. And it'll be a 30-second timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. We'll go ahead and keep it here during this timeout with it only being a 30. IU East leads right now with 9:41 to go. 28-18 is the score. So we'll go back to the KIAC standings, go through those a little more thoroughly. We'll start with the Colonial Division led by IU East. Received votes in the top 25 poll this week, coming in at number 33. And West Virginia Tech sits in second, 5-2. Then Rio Grande 4-2. Red Bulls will be taking them on coming up on Saturday. And then Ohio Christian fourth in the Colonial Division. Red Bulls travel to Ohio Christian coming up on Thursday. Point Park 4-6. Carlo rounds out the Colonial Division with an 0-9 conference record. And of course, Cincinnati Christian leads the Capital Division 6-1. Alice Lloyd follows them 6-2. And Brescia 5-4. Asbury 4-4. IU Southeast and IU Kokomo round out the Capital Division from there. A foul called here on the Red Wolves. And it's going to be on number 34, Nate Niehoff. He picks up his second, so that'll bring Parker Salinas back into the game. And now Vache Davis back into the ball game as well. So out on the floor will be Huffman, Claypool, Salinas, Williams, and Davis. Inbounds to Gaynor. Got it in the left corner. Gives it to Burton. 9:23 to go. Out of the corner. Three-point shot from Jarrell Moses. A little too much. The rebound by Kenny Gaynor, but the Eagles lose the ball. Here's Vache Davis. Davis trying to throw it out. We've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian. And this one is going to be on number 30. That'll be DJ McCommons. He picks up his first and team's fourth. 9:12 to go. Claypool takes it out of bounds to the left of the IU East basket. Inbounds it to Vache Davis. Now Don Williams out on the right wing. Williams will go down, stopped at the right side of the lane. Parker Salinas back to Williams. Here's Jacoby Claypool with the basketball now. Finds Vache down low. Passes to Dom. Dom misses the shot. And the rebound by Jarrell Moses for Cincinnati Christian. McCommons brings it on down the floor. Finds Kenny Gaynor, and Gaynor with a nice open shot. Able to lay it in there for Cincinnati Christian, and it's an 8-point game now. 28-20. Great ball game here between these two teams. Davis for three from the left corner. The Red Wolves into their perfect shooting percentage from three-point range, with that miss there. Here's McCommons for three. Top of the key, knocks it down, and it's a 5-point ball game, 28-23. There's Lucas Huffman. Nice find to Vache Davis. Unable to finish the shot. It'll be out of bounds. It'll go to the Eagles. 8:15, a sigh of relief there for the Cincinnati Christian fans in the building.
Just got to shake that one off your Vache. Don't worry about that. Get on the next possession. As unfortunate as it is.
Right. 8:05 to go. Pass over to the right side. Here's McCollins with the basketball. Finds Kenny Gaynor down low. He's able to score easily for Cincinnati Christian. And just like that, we're down to a three-point ball game, 28-25. 7:48 to go in the first half. Pass out top to Parker Salinas, broken up by Cincinnati Christian. They're able to get the ball down the floor. Walsman doesn't finish. Walsman goes back up, doesn't go again. And now it's going to be tied up on the floor.
Oh.
And jump ball called. This one will go to the Red Wolves with 7:32 to play.
Ball was juggling around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I understand that call, keep the player safety. Everyone was, Fauché was on the ground by some legs and on. Might as well keep everyone safe.
7:32 to go in the first half, 28-25. IU East with the 3-point lead. Looks like we're ready to go. So Dom Williams will be taking it out. Gives it to Fauché Davis. Davis will bring it on down the floor. Davis with the basketball for the Red Wolves. Gives it to Claypool. Now Claypool finds Dom Williams. Williams back to Claypool. Shot clock down to 5 here for the Red Wolves. Got to get something off, and now we've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian with 2 on the shot clock. Well, this foul is going to be on number 13, Kenny Gaynor. He picks up his first. That's 5 team fouls now on Cincinnati Christian. Parker Salinas works it down to Don Williams in the right corner. Williams doesn't have his dribble anymore. Got it to Huffman. Huffman to Claypool for the 3. Up and in. And there's a much-needed basket by the Red Wolves. Puts IU East back up by 6, 31-25. Nice find down low to Kenny Gaynor once again. 31-27, and Kenny Gaynor now has 8. And the Red Wolves are going to take a timeout with 6:32 to play here in the first half. IU East leads by 4, 31-27, 6:32 to play in the first half here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
30-second timeout.
Dylan, terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here.
And welcome back to IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. 6:32 to play in the first half. 24 on the shot clock for the IU East Red Wolves. Lucas Huffman gets the ball in bounds to Dom Williams. Right back to Huffman. Huffman goes over to the left side, gives it to Fauché Davis. Down in the corner to Huffman for the 3. This one's short. And the rebound by Walsman. Burton brings it on down the floor, tries to get out in the corner. Nice break up on the pass there by the Red Wolves. On down to Parker Salinas. Salinas out into the corner to Jacoby Claypool. Claypool with the shot. Doesn't go. Parker Salinas putting up a fight for the ball, but DJ McCommons was able to get to it first. Now McCommons spin move to get inside the lane. Unable to finish. Dom Williams with the rebound. Pass on down to Fauché Davis. Fauché gives it to Dom. Now Dom over to the left side, down to the basket. Doesn't go, and now McCommons with the basketball for CCU. 3-point shot by McCommons. Sinks it, and now it's a 1-point game, 31-30. A 1-point lead now for the Red Wolves. Up and goes over to the left side. And the Red Wolves throw it away, out of bounds. So now give it back to CCU after the timeout. 5:19 to play. IU East has the 31-30 lead here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
And welcome back to IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Well, the lead slipped away here for the Red Wolves. Ty, tell us a bit about what's happened.
It's been a really physical basketball game so far. CCU first started off trying to go low. They've had a lot of success now with their guards getting around Jacoby Claypool, Flashe Davis, other guards for IU East. They've really been having success in working the ball around, find the open shooter. And for IU East, they've kind of struggled with a little bit of the pressure that CCU's caused. And it's kind of like opposite of a start for IU East and CCU. They kind of switch places.
All right, 5:19 to go in the first half, 31-30 lead for the Red Wolves. Burton takes it over to the right side, gets it into the hands of Jarrell Moses. Back to Burton. Now Burton down the right side lane, gets the shot off. This one goes in. And Cincinnati Christian takes the lead 32-31. Their first lead of the game since they led 2-0. This shot down low by the Red Wolves. And CCU will take it to the other end of the floor. Burton passed down inside. And the basket that time by Shelton doesn't go. Here's Nick Bollenbacher with the basketball. Brings it over to the right side. Out on the wing. Now, trying to feed it down inside to Parker Salinas. Picked off by Burton. Burton gets one up in the air. Doesn't go. And Vashe Davis comes up with the basketball now for IU East. As the Red Wolves trail by 1 with 4:25 to go in the first half. It'll be over on the left side with Dom Williams. Gets it to Jason Ray. Ray works it over to Nick Bollenbacher. Now down to Vashe Davis. Davis kind of goes over to Dom Williams, and we've got a blocking foul called on Nick Seibert. He'll pick up his second personal and team sixth. The back end of the game for the Red Wolves will be Lucas Huffman, and Cincinnati Christian will bring in Austin Osborne for the first time. So Nick Bollenbacher will inbound it from the right side of the IU East basket. Out to Huffman. The defense there by Austin Osborne. Goes over to Dom Williams. Williams underneath the basket. Doesn't get it to go. Now Williams. Up again. Nothing there. A 32-31 lead for Cincinnati Christian. Goes out to Moses. Doesn't get this one to go. The rebound by Lucas Huffman. And now Huffman gets it in the hands of Ashe Davis. We'll get the offense set up here for the Red Wolves. Bollenbacher with the ball out on top. Now over to the right side to Huffman. Huffman to Jason Ray. And we've got a foul called on Cincinnati Christian. So this one will be on Jarrell Moses. He picks up his second. That'll be 17 fouls now on Cincinnati Christian. So that'll put Jason Ray at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Kenny Gaynor back into the ball game here for Cincinnati Christian. The Ray at the line to shoot the 1-and-1 with 3:29 left to play in the first half. First free throw for Jason Ray, up and in. Ties the ball game up at 32. Jason Ray at the free throw line, chance to get the go-ahead point right here. Second free throw for Jason Ray, up and in as well, and the Red Wolves back on top by 1, 33-32. And nice deflection there by Lucas Huffman. Off into the middle of the floor, gets it across center court. Over to Don Williams on the left side. Gives it to Bollenbacher. Now Nick Bollenbacher with the basketball. Gives it to Jason Ray out top. Back to Bollenbacher. Over to Huffman for the three from the right side. This one rattles out. And now it'll be pushed on down the floor to DJ McCommons. McCommons goes down underneath the basket. And he'll be called for the out of bounds. So 2:52 to go. In the first half, the Red Wolves lead 33-32. Ashay Davis gets it across the timeline for the Red Wolves. Gives it to Nick Bollenbacher, who's out high along with the pass down to the right side. Lucas Huffman with the ball now. Huffman goes baseline, back to Jason Ray. Ray to the lane, gets a shot off. This one goes in. And now the Red Wolves lead 35-32. 2:17 to go. Pass over to McCommons on the left side. Goes back over to Burton. Burton passes up to Osborne. Now back to McCommons, who gets the offense set up for Cincinnati Christian for Burton, who now has the ball. Gives it to Shelton. Shelton pass over to the left side. Now going down. Shot off. No good here for the Eagles. Pass down to Nick Bollenbacher. Surrounded by three purple jerseys and a pick off here by Austin Osborne. Collins with the basketball, gives it to Burton. Minute 33 to go. 3-point shot by McCommons, way off to the right side. And now Bollenbacher with the basketball here for the Red Wolves. Huffman to Davis. Turnaround shot is good. Now the Red Wolves lead by 5 once again, 37-32. 1:10 to go. Go back over to McCommons. Now over to Shelton on the left side. Thrown inside to Gaynor. Gaynor unable to finish. Jason Ray passes to Lucas Huffman. Lucas Huffman gives it to Devontae Davis. Davis inside the lane. Back out to Huffman for the three. This one off the back of the rim. Too much. Now Devontae. Back to Huffman. Working on around. Jason Ray for three from the right side. This one up and in. Jason Ray also with the 3-point basket here for the Red Wolves. Now IU East up by 8, 40-32. 28 seconds to go in the first half. Burton with the ball out top for Cincinnati Christian. Jason Ray, the sixth player of the game, to hit a 3-point shot today for the Red Wolves. And Burton knocks one down from 3-point range as well for Cincinnati Christian. And that brings us to halftime, where the Red Wolves lead 40-35. Ty, tell us a little bit about the first half.
It was all about a game of runs for the first half from both sides. Definitely IU East jumped out to a quick start. They were hot from the 3-point line. The team up. Their tempo was much quicker. They were finding the open shooters better. On defense, they're much more aggressive. They communicated more.
Right.
They made a big run themselves, and IU East just managed to squeeze out a little run at the end to close off this half to give it a 5-point lead. But really, the story for right now, for what I'm thinking, is Jerome Moses has really been a key contributor to CCU, and I think he'll be a success for CCU on this game and further on.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the stats of the second half of IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello once again, and welcome to another episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the Think Pink game coming up for the IU East women's basketball team. We'll also be talking a little bit about track and field and an award that the athletic department recently received. But joining me first is women's basketball head coach Tiffany Selhorst to talk about the Play for Cave movement and the Think Pink basketball game. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Caleb.
Well, obviously this game is going to be coming up on February 13th. Just tell us a little bit about the history of this national movement, the Play for K movement.
Sure. Well, I guess it starts with Kay Yao, who is a Hall of Fame, or was a Hall of Fame coach for North Carolina State. She had been there for 30-plus years. Just had over 700 wins, had been to the NCAA tournament almost every year she was a coach there. Gotten to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and even to the Final Four. Just very well known in the women's basketball community. About midway through her career, she was the first time that she dealt with breast cancer. And then she ended up having breast cancer for 3 times before it ended up actually taking her life. But because of that, before she left or before she passed away, she wanted to set up a foundation because she felt like if she had to go through all this stuff with the cancer and battling it and trying to juggle being a Division I head coach at the highest levels, she wanted it to count. She wanted it to help a lot of people. So they set up a foundation for her, and women's basketball teams all over the country at every level are taking part in this. We want to raise money for cancer research. It goes to the national level and Play for K, which I believe they have raised over $5 million at this point, almost $6 million towards research at the national level. But a lot of programs will also help the local level and partner with local chapters of hospitals or whatever it is that would do it for any kind of women's cancers, but definitely breast cancer.
All right, what were some of the things that you did at St. Francis in relation to the Play for K game?
Sure. Think Pink was actually one of our biggest games there. We would have close to 1,500 people that would come to that game. You know, we would throw out free gear. We would ask for donations that we could donate to the local chapters at the hospitals for whoever was raising funds for women's cancer research at the time. We would also, one of our biggest things that the fans loved, we would wear pink uniforms. And then after the game, we would tie these up into these nice little plastic bags. Disgusting, but then we would put them on auction and we would raise more funds that way. So usually, I mean, we would raise a couple $1,000s that we were able to donate for that. So that was our biggest thing at St. Francis.
Okay, well, I mean, thinking back to like the Pink Out game for volleyball season, I mean, you've seen how big of a deal that is.
Yeah.
How do you want the community and the school to get involved, maybe make this a little bit bigger than the Pink Out game?
Sure. Well, I think it's great that the Pink Out game for volleyball, and hopefully we can piggyback with that. You know, we're working with Bravo through Reed Hospital. They will be at our game. They're going to have a table set up. We're hoping that they can pass out some information. We are also asking that instead of admission and paying $5 to get into our game, that you just go ahead and walk over to their table and donate it directly to them. We're also going to be wearing our pink uniforms, which I am wearing today to show off a little bit. Our kids will be wearing that with some pink socks, and we're going to get into the whole thing. You know, breast cancer or women's cancers of any sort have touched almost everybody. It's one of those, 7 degrees that it's something that everybody has to deal with at some point in their life, and knowing somebody that has had it. I believe it's 1 in 4 women may experience breast cancer. That's a scary statistic,
Right.
especially for a coach, because I'm thinking about my team, and it means that about 3 or 4 kids from my team may have to deal with this at some point. So I want to make this a big deal within the Richmond community. We're hoping that we can get people to come out just because Bravo is there and you're able to donate towards them and their cause, but with that, be able to check out a cool women's basketball game
Right.
and see our team in action. We're really exciting to watch, as you know, because you're at almost every game.
Right.
But yeah, just having a ton of people get on board with the Bravo thing, and then having a place that we can help them raise some funds towards cancer research.
All right. Do you have any personal connections with this at all?
The only real connection that I've had is I was able to meet Coach Kay Yao when she was alive, and she had at that point already gone through this twice. And it was just amazing to me to see her dedication to this. Every coach really has a passion to coach or a vision to coach and what they want to do for their life and impact women in these ways. But it was just really neat to see how much it meant to her to help not only just her basketball team, but just through this help women all over the country, because obviously it touched her, and she felt like there was a reason that she had to go through this. And it wasn't just to sit on her hands and whine about it. It was to make a difference. So that was a vehicle that she's used to promote cancer research.
All right. Well, obviously it's going to be a home conference game that night against Brescia, so an exciting game. What do you expect to see there?
Well, Brescia is a really quick team. They press you the entire game. They like to get up and down the floor, and they've even been able to upset a few of the top teams in the conference already. So I know that they're going to be looking at stopping us or halting us as well. So it's going to be a quick game. It'll be very entertaining. If you don't know that much about basketball, there's going to be a lot of baskets made in that game, so it'll be fun.
All right. Well, great game and a great cause. Anything else you'd like to add about either Play 4K or the Think Pink game that night?
Just that we really hope that we can get everybody involved within the community. This is a big deal. And we really want to make a connection with Bravo and continue to use this game. I would love to see this as being one of our biggest games that we can attract fans to, and understand that there's more to this than just basketball.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. Be sure to make it over to the Tiernan Center on February 13th as the Red Wolves take on Brescia at home for the Think Pink Play 4K game. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports right after this.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East Men's Basketball here on the Red Bull Sports Network. We'll go through a quick stats recap for the first half. We'll start with Cincinnati Christian, 14 of 30 from field goal range, shooting 46.7%. They're also 5 for 8 from three-point range, shooting 62.5%, and 2 of 4 at the free throw line, shooting 50%. Cincinnati Christian McCommon's taking it out to the left of the basket. He inbounds to Shelton. Shelton gives it to Burton out top. Down to 3 of the shot clock. McCommon's from outside. Off the front end of the rim. And now here's Jacoby Claypool. Passes over to Vache Davis on the right side of the floor. Davis back out to Claypool. Claypool over to Dom Williams on the left side. Now to Parker Slatus. Slatus across the floor over to Lucas Huffman. Now here's Huffman back out to Claypool. 8 on the shot clock for the Red Wolves. Down to the corner. Huffman for the 3. Up and in for Lucas Huffman.
Huffman for 3.
18:03 to play. The Red Wolves now lead 43-35. Have held the Eagles scoreless here in the first 2 minutes of the ball game, of the second half. Back over to the right side. Burton gives it out top to Shelton. Shelton works it over to McCommons on the left side. Now Seibert for three. This one's off. And Lucas Huffman with the basketball for the Red Wolves as he crosses center court. It's over to the left side. Now back out to Don Williams. Williams over to Salinas. Salinas gives it to Davis. Now Davis backs the ball back out onto the right wing. Passes to Parker Salinas on the right side. Salinas down to the block. This one doesn't go. Salinas, a shot here, and now the Red Wolves have the 45-35 lead. Cincinnati Christian has still not scored almost the first 3 minutes of the second half. Over to the right side. Here's Burton with the basketball. Loses it. It'll be kicked.
Parker wanted to steal there.
Yeah.
Told the ref as well he wanted that.
17:04 to go. 45-35 the score. IU East on top by 10. The inbounds back over to Shelton. And a foul called on IU East. The basket will count. And CCU on the board here in the second half. So with the good basket, that'll put Shelton at the line to shoot one. The foul is going to be on number 32, Lucas Huffman. He picks up his first, and team's first on the Red Wolves here in the second half. Here's Shelton at the line to shoot one free throw for the Eagles. This one will be off.
Gotta love the fans.
Maybe with the help of one of the IU East fans back here. Huffman for another three. This one's good as well. And now Lucas Huffman in today's game is going to be 4 for 7 with three-point range. 2 for 2 from three-point range here in the second half. And this will be deflected out of bounds off of Huffman. The Red Wolves lead 48-37 with 16:35 to go.
It's always tough to read those stat lines.
Yeah.
Never know when they update on you or not.
Yeah. (48-37) the score. IU East up by 11. 16:35 to play in the second half. And McCommons taking it out to the left of the CCU basket. Gets it inbounds to Burton. Burton starts to go to the lane. That shot off from about the free throw line. Misses it. And the Red Wolves finally pick it up. Pass on down the floor. Here's Salinas with the basketball. Gives it to Vache Davis. Davis passes down to Parker Salinas once again. Davis is on the move to the basket. Swatted out there by DJ McCommons. This will be out of bounds. Looks like it's going to stay with the Red Wolves. And Cincinnati Christian will bring in Darrell Moses and number 10, Barik Walsman. So, 11-point lead still for the Red Wolves with 16:12 to go. Huffman inbounds it to Claypool. Now Claypool hand off to Huffman. And draws the foul there. This will be the first team foul on the Eagles here in the second half. The foul is going to be on number 33, Drew Shelton.
It's a little difficult with the team fouls since we don't have our main scoreboard up here.
I know, so we got to listen to PA announcer Dennis Six.
We got the score, time, and that's it.
Yeah. Salinas with another shot. This will be off the mark. The rebound by CCU. Well, yeah, here at Wright State, depending on the four scoreboards in the corners, they don't have the main scoreboard on here inside the Nutter Center this evening. This will be thrown out of bounds off of Lucas Huffman. Stops the clock with 15:48 to go. So taking it out here for CCU. It looks like it's going to be Burton. Burton inbounds it to Seibert. Seibert with mid-range shot, no good. The rebound by Vache Davis. Passes on down the floor to Lucas Huffman. And Huffman scores on the other end for IU East. Red Wolves lead 50-37 on a 10-2 scoring run. Now 10-4 scoring run with the basket by Burton. Claypool gives it to Vache Davis. Now Davis to the basket and scores. 52-39. 15-17 to go. Back over to the left side. Three-point shot taken by Jarrell Moses. Off the rim, no good. A rebound by Don Williams. Here's Lucas Huffman with the basketball for the Red Wolves. And another foul called here on Shelton. Shelton will pick up his second.
Foul on number 33, Shelton, his second.
Jason Ray will come back into the IU East lineup. And Kenny Gaynor along with Jaden White into the game here for Cincinnati Christian.
Kenny Gaynor. Also in for the Red Wolves.
And Red Wolves also bring in a sub here as well. It'll be Kyle Pippinger. Kyle Pippinger, Jr. on the IU East roster this season, a 6'1 guard from New Madison, Ohio. Then to Huntington University before he came to IU East. Ooh. All the way down to the other end of the floor and scoring was Blake Walsman. And now it's 52-41. IU East still on top by 11. Vache has it on the left side of the floor for the Red Wolves. Jason Ray out to Dom for the three. This one a little too much. He picked up by Burton. He brings it on down the floor for the Eagles. Backs it out in the left corner. Gives it to Kenny Gaynor. Gaynor back to Burton. Now back out to Jarrell Moses. Moses inside the lane. Nothing there, and now another missed shot by Moses. Or Jason Ray comes down with the rebound for the Red Wolves. 14-10 to play. Kenny Gaynor dives on the ball. We've got a foul called. And let's see who this goes against. Looks like this one's going to end up being against Vache Davis. He picks up his first and team's second. Nick Ballenbacher back into the game for IU East. IU East up by 11 with 14:07 to go. Ball now with Walsman. Walsman out top. Walsman down the left side of the lane. He'll get a few extra steps in. They called for the travel. And I'll bring Nate Niehoff back into the game here for IU East. Nate Niehoff in today's game. He's got a total of 3 points and that three-point shot from out top. Claypool over to Ballenbacher. Now Ballenbacher. No good. This will go out of bounds and it'll go to Cincinnati Christian. 13:38 to play here in the second half. Taking it out for the Eagles will be Walsman. To 13:37 to go. Walsman inbounds the ball to Kyrie Burton. On down the floor, out into the corner. Back out top to Burton, over to the left side. Swings it down into the corner to Walsman. Try to feed it inside to Gaynor, broken up by Niehoff. Here's Claypool on down the floor for the Red Wolves. Gets shut off, blocked by Moses. Now Ballenbacher over to the right side. Ray for the three. This one doesn't go, and now go down to the other end of the floor with Moses. Jason Ray able to throw it out to Kyle Pippinger. Pippinger over to the right side to Claypool. Now Claypool. He tried to throw it to Niehoff. He tied up by Cincinnati Christian. CCU comes out with the ball. Now here is Walsman. Got a block called on the Red Wolves. That'll be against Nick Ballenbacher. So Ballenbacher will pick up his first and team's third. That'll put Walsman at the line, and they're going to count the basket. Say the ball went in. So Walsman will go to the line for one with the chance to make it an 8-point game. Free throw's good. And now it's an 8-point ball game with 12:54 to play, 52-44. Nick Ballenbacher with the ball. It's Jason Ray over to the right side of the floor. Jason Ray out to Claypool. And a foul called on Kyrie Burton. So Kyrie Burton will pick up his second. And team's third on the Eagles. 12:37 to go here in the second half. Claypool inbounds the ball to Nick Bollenbacher. Any time here on the shot clock for the Red Wolves. Niehoff puts up another three, second of the game. Misses this one. And Jacoby Claypool comes in to get the ball, and there will be a foul called. And this one will go against Jacoby Claypool, who picks up his second.
Lucas and Parker still out. You kind of wonder, you might not want to keep them out too long because your score is there. Right. You don't want to have them kind of get cold.
Jason Ray with a nice move, trying to get in there and break up that pass. CCU able to hang on to the ball this time. 12:13 to go. Kenny Gaynor working there inside and able to get a basket. Narrows it down to a 6-point game. Looks like you made the call there, Ty. Right now, Hoffman and Salinas both over in front of the scores table to check in for IU East. Jacoby Claypool on the left side of the lane, down to Nate Niehoff. Niehoff unable to get the basket. To go out of bounds, and will go to the Eagles. So that'll bring Huffman and Salinas back in. And we've got a timeout down on the floor. So with 11:47 to go, IU East hangs on to a 6-point lead, 52-46 here on the Red Wolf Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And welcome back to IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolf Sports Network, where IU East hangs on to a 6-point lead with 11:47 to go here at the ball game. Talk a little bit about this going into the second half. IU East can't let up off the gas here in the second half. What do you think's happening here, Ty?
I don't think they've really let off the gas. I could say maybe time to time they need to slow down a little bit. They're kind of going a little too fast. But CCU, they've really come out strong, especially Jarrell Moses coming out with Gaynor as well as Burton. The three there have just really caused a lot of problems for IU East on offense and on defense. And currently right now they're on a nice run of their own. And due to those three, they've really put it on against IU East right now.
That'll be CCU ball coming out of the timeout. 11:47 to play in the second half. Over to the left side. Now back over to the right side. Moses over to Burton, and now a foul called. Looks like they'll get Salinas maybe on this one. And Parker Salinas will pick up his first.
His first, team 6.
That'll be 6 team fouls now on the Red Wolves. And speaking of IU basketball, it looks like the Hoosiers and Badgers will be going to overtime, tied at 71. The ball inbounds to Gaynor over in the left corner. Now over to the right side. It'll go down to the corner. Now back over to the other side. Here's the shot. And knocking it down, it's Jaden White. 4-point ball game now, 52-48 with 11:13 to play. So it'll be with Huffman. Huffman out into the corner. Dom Williams down underneath the basket. It doesn't go. And Gaynor gets the rebound for CCU. Pass on down the floor. It'll be out with Jarrell Moses working on around in the right corner to Jaden White. Now back down to Moses. Misses the shot. Moses put back. No good. The rebound by Lashe Davis. On down the floor to Huffman. Nothing called there, and now nothing called there either. Here's Don Williams down low, though. And it's 54-48.
Pretty physical game right now. I can't complain.
Leave it at that. Here is a shot from the left corner. No good for three-point range. And a foul called, so that'll put CCU at the line shooting the 1-and-1. Foul goes against Don Williams. He picks up his first. And that's 17 fouls called on the Red Wolves. All right, well, we've got a timeout down on the floor. It'll be a full timeout taken by IU East. 10:16 to play in the second half. Red Wolves lead by 6, 54-48 on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And back to IU East men's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network, where the Red Wolves lead by 6, 54-48, with 10:16 to play in the second half. And it'll be a 1-and-1 coming up at the free throw line for Blake Walsman. At the line in today's game. Walsman's been there a few times, and at the line in today's game. 1 for 3 now, 1 for 4 after that miss. 54-48. Here's Vache Davis. Over to Salinas on the left side. Back out to Davis. Cross over and double dribble called here. I'll turn it over to the Eagles with 10:03. Back over to the right side. It'll be run up the floor by Burton. Burton on the right wing now for CCU. Back over to the right side with Jaden White. Now be back out on top. Over to the left side. Down to the corner. Jaden White to the basket. Unable to score. And Don Williams will give it to Bodenbacher. Now over to Davis on the left side of the floor. Now, Huffman. We got a foul called here on CCU. This one is going to go against number 10, Blake Walsman. He'll pick up his first.
His first, team's fourth.
So with 9:27 to go, it's 54-48. And Claypool back into the ball game for IU East. Here's Claypool inbounding it, finds Huffman. Now to Williams out on top. Williams over the left side. Now it'll be with Parker Salinas as he comes around top. Now Claypool. He comes to the stop with the left elbow. Huffman for the three. This one, too much. Will be with CCU now. Tried to pass down low. That time to Jarrell Moses. And it ends up going out of bounds. It'll be IU East basketball out of bounds with 9:03 to go. They got it inbounds to Claypool. Claypool will bring it up the floor for the Red Wolves. Claypool over to the right side. Now with the ball on the wing. Lucas Huffman trying to get to the basket. He'll be called for the travel. Turns it over to CCU with 8:40 to play. All right, so it'll be CCU ball with 8:36. Over on the left side of the floor. Moses trapped Able to get it over to the right side. Here's Burton. Great shot. Narrows it down to a 4-point ball game, 54-40. And we've got a full timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. 8:27 to go in the second half. 54-50. IU East with the 4-point lead on the Red Bull Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And back to IU East men's basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network, where it's a 4-point lead for the Red Wolves, 54-50, 8:27 to go in the ball game, and it'll be IU East basketball. Huffman taking it out. Gets it inbounds to Claypool. Claypool on the right side of the floor. Comes over to the middle of the floor, goes back to the right. Now it'll be with Parker Salinas. Salinas to Don Williams. Now here's Vache Davis. Davis to the baseline. Gets stopped on the left side of the lane. Will go out of bounds. It will stay with IU East. 12 on the shot clock for the Red Wolves. Out top with Vache Davis. And now still here. We got a foul called. Looks like this will be against Vache Davis. And Vache picks up his second. That'll be his second and team foul number 8. So that will put Darrell Moses at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Free throw off the back of the rim. Out to Burton for the 3. This one's short off the front end of the iron. No good, and it'll be out of bounds. It'll go to the Red Wolves. Bounds to Claypool. Claypool gets across center court here for the Red Wolves. Brings it over to the left side. Now down low. Finds Don Williams. Williams turns around. Puts one up off the glass. And now the Red Wolves lead by 6. 56-50. Back over to the left side. Moses tried to pass. Pass on down the floor to Jacoby Claypool. Claypool will lay it in. Now the Red Wolves back up by 8. 58-50 with 7:20 to play in the second half. Pass on down to the corner. No good there for Burton. Unable to score was Blake Walsman. 58-52 with 7:01 to play. Inbounds to Vache Davis. Davis slows it up. He's trapped. And it looks like he's able to call for the timeout with 6:54 to go. It'll be a timeout taken by the Red Wolves. And it'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll just go ahead and keep it here during this one. Well, IU East has the 6-point lead. Of course, we're playing at the Wright State University Nutter Center this evening.
Great facility.
Great facility, for sure. Be nice to have one of these at IU East, but we've got the Student Events and Activity Center coming up.
Very true, yeah.
Not quite the same size, but
it's a nice place where I'd like to see it filled, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think I heard somewhere around 800 seats. It'd be nice to see that filled for not only the basketball games, but the volleyball games as well.
Yeah, and of course, the addition of more sports coming in the future.
Right.
Hopefully, I'm not sure, I'm just speculating, but definitely with more sports getting involved, I really think the image for IU East in the Richmond area and surrounding areas would really grow.
Well, speaking of the volleyball team, a couple of the volleyball players over here this evening to watch the Red Wolves play. Current volleyball players Morgan Steinbrenner and Madison Yoder made it. And now a graduate of IU East, Mallory Livingston's here tonight. She's actually taking some graduate classes here at Wright State, so she decided to come watch the basketball teams play here at the Nutter Center this evening. 58-52. John Williams gives it to Salinas. Now to be thrown away to the Eagles. A.J. McCommons gets it into the hands of Burton. Will set things up for the Eagle offense. And a lob down to Kenny Gaynor. It'll be out of bounds. So that'll give it to IU East with 6:15 to play. And now it looks like Vache Davis will be taking it out. And another timeout taken. We have full timeout on the floor. We'll take a timeout here as well. 58-52, Red Wolves lead on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And back to IU East men's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. 58-52, 6:15 to play in the ball game. Lucas Huffman taking it out for IU East. Huffman trying to find somebody. He's able to find Jacoby Claypool. Quickly double teamed there by Moses and Burton. Pass up the floor to Vache Davis. On down to Parker Salinas. Salinas out to Claypool. Claypool with a three-point shot fake. Out into the corner once again. Here's Vache Davis for the three. This one a little short. And now I've got another foul called here. Looks like this one ended up going against the Eagles. This one's going to go against Darrell Moses, who picks up his third. So there'll be 5 team fouls now on Cincinnati Christian. And we're at another timeout. 6-point lead for the Red Wolves, 58-52. Here in the second half on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And back to men's basketball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. 58-52 lead for the IU East Red Wolves with 5:56 to play in the ball game. Vache Davis takes it out to the left of the IU East basket. Gets it inbounds to Lucas Huffman. There's Huffman with the basketball. Gets it to Vache Davis. Not sure what happened, but Terrell Moses took a hard fall there on the floor that time out top. Now Jason Ray with the basketball. Back over to the right side to Vache. Here's Vache all the way down to the basket. This one rolls off. And looks like Terrell Moses a little slow getting up that time. (58-52) the score with 5:33 to go. And looks like Terrell Moses will come out of the game for a minute. End of the game for him will be Blake Walsman. Walsman's a 6'7" freshman from Batesville, Indiana. Burton over to McCommons on the left side of the floor. McCommons on up to Seibert. Now Seibert passes over to Kenny Gaynor. This one no good. No foul there either. And Vache Davis brings it on down the floor for IU East. Back over to the left side. Vache gives it to Parker Salinas out high. Salinas to Ray, down to the corner to Davis. Now Parker on top of the key. Shot clock at 4 for the Red Wolves. Here Vache gets a shot off. Doesn't go. And Gaynor with the rebound for CCU. Bring it on down to the left side of the floor. And to the basket. Scoring will be Kyrie Burton. So 4-point ball game with 4:31 to play. Here's Jason Ray with the ball. Pass over to the left side to Salinas. Back over to the right side to Ray. Down into the corner. And Lucas Huffman with the basket. Puts the Red Wolves back up by 6. 60-54. Seibert with the basketball for CCU. Seibert will give it to Burton. Now Burton. Down the left side. Out into the corner. Gives it to McCommons. Now back to Burton. Burton got rid of the defender. Gets the shot off. It won't go. Parker Salinas struggled to hang on to the ball. Thrown back in by Seibert. And now we've got an offensive foul called against CCU's number 10, Blake Walsman. So Walsman will pick up his second. And team 6th.
From the streaks of the fans, it might seem like it was a team's 20th.
Right. So here is Don Williams inbounding it to Claypool. Claypool just got it across the timeline for the Red Wolves. 3:41 to go in the ball game. Lucas Huffman with it over the right side. Gives it to Salinas. Seibert almost there for the steal that time for CCU. Now back to Claypool. Shot clock down to 8 for the Red Wolves. Now Claypool inside the lane, gets shot off, it won't go. And the rebound by Walsman. And just like all game, getting to play a little bit here for these final 4 minutes of the game.
I love it. Just let them battle it out for the win. 2 top teams, let them play.
Yeah, definitely. 3-point shot by McCommons, top of the key, it's short. The rebound by Jacoby Claypool. 3:01 to go in the ball game, and a foul called on Kyrie Burton, who picks up his third. And that'll be team foul number 7 on Cincinnati Christian, so that'll put the Red Wolves at the line to shoot 1-1. And going to the line for the Red Wolves will be Jacoby Claypool. At the line this season, Jacoby Claypool, a 78% free throw shooter. Free throw here for Jacoby. Up and in. So that puts the Red Wolves up 61-54. Claypool at the line for the first time today. Second free throw was good as well. The Red Wolves now lead by 8, 62-54. Collins takes it over to the left side. Pass on over to Nick Seibert. And a timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian as they're trapped up there in the corner. 2:49 to go in the ball game, and it'll be a 30-second timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Go ahead and preview some of the upcoming games for the IU East Red Wolves. The next one will be a away conference game for the Red Wolves. That'll be at Ohio Christian coming up on Thursday. The women will tip off at 6 p.m. The men will follow at 8. And then the Red Wolves finally back at home to the Tiernan Center on the 30th against Rio Grande. Women will play at 1. The men will play at 3. And then on February 2nd, another home game for the Red Wolves against Asbury. That will be on February 2nd. Women will tip off at 6. Men to follow at 8. So Ohio Christian Thursday, Rio on Saturday. And then back to the Tiernan Center on Tuesday again for Asbury on February 2nd. So be sure to mark your calendar as the Red Wolves seems like finally are making it back to the Tiernan Center, playing a lot of away conference games for the last couple weeks.
Slowly but surely making their way back.
I know I'm ready to be back to the Tiernan Center, so I'm sure the teams have got to be as well. All right, 2 on the shot clock as Burton gets a shot off. Doesn't fall, and the ball will be loose. Picked up by Jason Ray. Ray gets it into the hands of Claypool. Now pass on down the floor to Lucas Huffman. Huffman with the easy basket. And now the Red Wolves up by 10, 64-54. Back over to the left side. 2:08 to go of the ball game. McCommons with it on the left side of the floor. And McCommons lost the ball, but is picked up by Burton. Burton able to score. 64-56 with a minute 48 to go in the ball game. It was an 8-point game, 64-56. Back over the left side. Huffman with the shot fake. Started to go to the basket. Out to Ray. And Ray is he was trying to come up over the defender. Lost it. Here's DJ McCommons. And good basket here. Minute 29 to play in the ball game. The basket is good. The foul will be called on number 20, Jason Ray. So he'll pick up his first, and that'll be team foul number 9 on the Red Wolves. So that being Parker Salinas back in for IU East. And Shelton in for Cincinnati Christian. Here's McCommons at the line to shoot 1. He's 2 for 2 at the line, making it 3 for 3. And the inbound pass from Don Williams was picked off by Burton. Comes across the baseline, and a basket here by Blake Walsman. Down to a 3-point ball game, just when you thought it started to look like the game was taking turn for the better for the Red Wolves. CCU makes their own run. Vache to the basket, and 1 for Vache Davis. Got to make it 66-61. And the foul will go against Drew Shelton. He picks up his third and team's 8th. So, Jason Ray back in for IU East.
I'm not sure if we said this before in the game, but this is going to be a pretty big game for the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone back and forth. A lot of physical. It's been very physical. Everyone's been playing really hard. I mean, either team, Cincinnati Christian or IU East, whoever wins, you can't really take too much negative away from this loss if you end up with it.
Well, the other thing is you don't get a rematch with Cincinnati Christian and IU East being in the opposite divisions.
Big win for either side.
Well, the Red Wolves now back on top by 6 with a minute 6 to go. Jason Ray with the steal to the basket, doesn't finish. And the rebound by McCommons. McCommons at center court. McCommons down the left side of the lane to the basket, unable to score. Lucas Huffman comes out with the ball. 2-on-1. Back at the other end of the floor, and the foul called on Cincinnati Christian with 47.7 to go. And this one will go against number 12. That's Nick Seibert. He picks up his third. There'll be 9 team fouls now on Cincinnati Christian. So they'll put Vache Davis at the line to shoot 1-1 for the Red Wolves. First free throw for Vache is good. That'll make it 68-61. The Red Wolves now up by 7. Second free throw for Vache Davis. Good as well. Over to Seibert here on the right side as the Red Wolves lead 69-61. Now out, three-point shot by McCobbins. Off the rim, no good. And a foul here called on Cincinnati Christian. 32.3 to go in the ball game, and the Red Wolves are good on the line to shoot. I believe 2 now. So this will be on number 10, Blake Walsman. He picks up his second. And that will put Vache Davis at the line to shoot 2. So here's Davis. The first free throw is good. That'll make it 70-61. Second free throw for Vache Davis. It's good as well. And that'll be foul called on Don Williams. Williams will pick up his second. And that'll be the 10th team foul on the Red Wolves. So that'll put Kyrie Burton at the line to shoot 2. Two shots coming up here for Burton. IU East leads 71-61 with 25.7. And the free throw, no good here for Kyrie Burton. So Nick Bolenbacher and Parker Salinas back into the IU East lineup. And now Drew Shelton and Austin Osborne back into the game for Cincinnati Christian. Second free throw is good for Kyrie Burton. Bolenbacher. The inbound pass in to Vache Davis. On down to Jacoby Claypool. Claypool back to Davis. Now Davis with the ball to the right side. And it'll be called out of bounds. It'll go to Cincinnati Christian with 14.2 left. So Jason Ray will come back into the IU East lineup. 14.2 to play. The Red Wolves lead 71-62. Burton all the way down, finds Kenny Gaynor. Gaynor with the basket, stops the clock with 7.9 to go. Ball inbounds to Vache Davis. And a foul called against Cincinnati Christian with 3.6 to go. And this one's going to be called on Nick Seibert. Seibert picks up his 4th. So at the free throw line for IU East will be Jacoby Claypool.
Claypool on the line shooting 2.
And today, Jacoby Claypool at the free throw line, 2 for 2. First free throw is good. We'll make it 72-64. And the second free throw for Claypool falls in as well. So 73-64. And that'll be the ball game. Seibert gets a shot off. Doesn't go. IU East takes the 73-64 win here at the Wright State University Nutter Center this evening. Red Wolves improved to 14-9 on the season, 8-1 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Cincinnati Christian now 15-5, 6-2 in the KIAC. Ty, tell us a little bit about today's ball game.
Today's ball game was just, I think, a little pretest for the conference finals coming up later on this spring. Definitely a battle between the two top teams in the KIAC. As of right now, I mean, the conference is wide open. There's plenty of good teams. So even though right now they're the top two, it is subject to change. But the Red Wolves started off hot off the gate. Cincinnati made their own run back and forth, but ultimately just at the end, IU East ended up finishing their run strongest.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the IU East men's basketball postgame show. Actually, we'll go ahead and stay here. Lucas Huffman right here in front of me. We'll go ahead and get this postgame interview out of the way. So joining me, number 32, Lucas Huffman. Obviously a great conference win here today at Wright State. Tell us a little bit about today's game.
This is a big one. We've been talking about this all week. We have a big week coming up, and this was our first step, and this really means a lot to us to get that win. So hopefully it'll keep moving forward this week.
Up by like 10 at one point, and then Cincinnati Christian cut it down to 3. What were you guys' thoughts at that point in the ball game?
It's just a game of runs. We were trying to stay calm. I mean, they're a good team. They're going to make runs, good players. They were just hitting shots, and we weren't at one point, but we got it turned around.
And how about shooting there to start off the ball game for you guys? I think at one point you guys were 7 for 7 from beyond the arc to start off the ball game. What was going on there?
We just had great ball movement. Coach was telling us what to do before the game, and walk through today we really focused on our offensive possessions at the beginning of the game to really get us going, and it ended up working, and guys were just hitting the shots.
All right, well, another big conference game coming up, rematch for that Ohio Christian game. Coming up on Thursday, what do you expect to see out of the Trailblazers Thursday night?
I expect to see a little bit better game than we had them last time. They're a way different team at home, and we just got to come out and play like we did today, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, congratulations on a great win. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, well, the Red Wolves take the win here tonight at Wright State. Final score 73-64. The Red Wolves take the 9-point win and improve to 14-9 on the season, 8-1 in the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and Cincinnati Christian now 15-5, 6-2. Go ahead and go through the final stats for the ball game. Start with Cincinnati Christian. They were 27 of 66 for about 41% from field goal range in the ball game. They're also 5 of 18 for about 28% in the game. 5 for 11 at the free throw line for 45.5%. Cincinnati Christian also had a total of 37 rebounds, out-rebounded the Red Wolves by 1 with 13 on offense, 24 defensive boards for the Eagles. Also a total of 12 assists, 14 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 11 steals. For IU East, the ball game, 25 of 56 from field goal range for 44.6%. They are also 2 for 8, or that was in the second half. A total of 11 of 21 from three-point range for 52.4% from three-point range for the Red Wolves. And they shot 12 of 13 at the free throw line, shooting 92.3%. Red Wolves had a total of 36 rebounds with 8 on offense, 28 on defense, total of 17 assists, 16 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 8 steals in tonight's ball game. Well, once again, the Red Wolves improved to 14-9 on the season, 8-1 in the KIAC. Next game coming up on Thursday night at Ohio Christian University. If you can't make it over there to watch the Red Wolves and the Trailblazers, be sure to join us here on IUERedWolves.com. The women tip off at 6. So we'll go on at about 5:53 for the pregame show, and the men tip-off at 8. We'll go on about 6 or 7 minutes before scheduled tip-off of the men's basketball game. That's going to be coming up Thursday night, 6 and 8 o'clock, Red Wolves at Ohio Christian here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Special thanks to all of our crew. We had Josh Mann for the broadcast engineer. For the first game, we had Morgan Gard on commentary, Ty Butler on second game. I'm Caleb Gillock, the voice of your IU East Red Wolves. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.